for Montana State and Montana, the first of the two meetings between these two squads. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preeby, and it's time now for our Kendall Ford keys to the game. Brian, what are some of your keys to the contest tonight?
I think for the Bobcats, they need to get off to a good start. Now, they don't have to jump out by 10 or 12, but they can't get behind early and get this crowd into it. Now, we're 6 minutes before tip, and this is not a Dahlberg crowd I have ever seen against the Cats. Like, this is maybe half of what I would say I would expect at this point in time. Maybe there'll be a late arriving crowd tonight, who knows. But regardless, you got to get off to a good start. That bad start in Moscow the other night really set Montana State back. So key number one, good starts. Key number two is really understanding those top 5 or 6 guys for Montana. You got 3 guys that really shoot it in Thomas, Martin, Vasquez, and really don't do anything else. Take away those threes. Handle Moody. Don't let him get going because he's kind of a streaky guy. Bannon, you got to handle his left-handedness and then all the fakes. He's an Aussie. He's a Euro. He plays with up fakes and all kinds of just jitterbug moves. Can't buy that. Give him easy fouls. And then Whitney, you play 8 feet off and just beg him to shoot. Take away the drive.
All right, those are some of the keys to the ball game today. I think, on the Montana State side, it's really going to come down to just making shots. I mean, Danny Sprinkle's been talking about it all season long. You can go even back to the Grand Canyon game to open up the season where Montana State gave up a big first-half lead, and a lot of that was missing good looks, and it has been there most of the season. Tyler Patterson has been a part of that. We've seen him be very streaky. His last 2 games have not been up to the level that we expect and he expects of himself at this point. And there are good shooters on this team, and it's almost confounding how many open looks this team has missed to this point. And when they start knocking down some of these good looks, I mean, the sky's the limit because the defense is good enough. They've got enough talent. They've got enough skill. Raekwon Battle's putting in his buckets. Jabril Bellows playing as good as he's expected to be playing, but you've got to hit those open shots. It's really been befuddling and very frustrating for the coaching staff.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be a key part of the second half of this season. But I think at the end of the day, their defense is the best defense in the conference. And when you have the best defense in the conference, you can go 10 deep on your bench, and you're a good offensive team. Even though you haven't shot the ball well, you know you can do it. It's just a matter of putting it all together at the right time. Right now, it'd be great to see them come out tonight and hit 3 quick threes and get this thing going.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see how it plays out tonight as the Bobcats and the Grizzlies get ready to go to work today. We're approaching our Prime Lending tip-off today. Prime Lending, home loans made simple. Let's check our First Interstate Bank scoreboard. First Interstate Bank, home of Bobcat Banking. We've got one final in the books on the men's side. Eastern Washington defeating Northern Arizona 79-76 on the road. It's a tough place to play up there in Flagstaff. They've got some very skilled players there, in addition with the difficulty of the travel and the elevation and all that. But bottom line, NAU's a decent team, and they pushed Eastern Washington to the wire. But once again, the Eagles found a way to come out in a very close game, winning that one 79-76. At the moment right now, 2 games are at halftime. Portland State leads Idaho State 38-30, and Idaho trails Northern Colorado 32-29. The other game that's getting ready to tip off at the top of the hour is Sac State at Weber State. We'll see Sac and Portland next week on the road before the Bobcats get a nice heavy home schedule in the month of February. They've been on the road a lot throughout this month. Checking out the standings right now, Eastern Washington undefeated, 8-0. Brian, you kind of thought that maybe we'd see a 4 or 5 loss team win the Big Sky. You still feel like that's going to hold true?
It's hard to see it right now. I was talking with some Bobcat fans right before I came over to the arena, and they asked me kind of what's the margin for error with a 2-game difference at this point in the loss column. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure it's 3. I don't know that the Bobcats have room. If they want to win the regular season title, I think one more is about it, and it obviously can't be that game in Cheney to finish the season.
Yep, so we'll see. Hey, kudos to Eastern. They're playing some terrific basketball, and they've won some incredible games to this point. So they're sitting at 8-0. Montana State now back into second place at 5-2. Idaho State is 4-2. Sac State 4-2. Weber State 4-2. This Montana team 3-4. That's why this game is so important. They're trying to get back into the second half because they certainly feel like they've got enough talent to be in the top half of the Big Sky standings. Portland State at 2-4, Idaho at 2-5, Northern Colorado at 1-6, NAU at 1-7, man. And as you do look at this entire Big Sky conference, You're right. This is way deeper. I mean, NAU at 1-7, Northern Colorado at 1-6. Those are two teams with some incredible guard scoring options on their squad.
100%. Those are guys that could absolutely put some things together. And the way the league is with the 10 teams now, you're going to get the bottom 4 are going to play in the first round, and above that, everybody else will get a bye. So that is kind of the line right now that the Grizz are actually flirting with. They lose tonight, Portland State wins, and they could actually drop into the 7-hole.
Yeah, that would be, and that would be a surprise with how skilled this team is. But it's a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen. And Montana obviously is better than their 3-4 conference record would indicate. A couple of the other records to put what's going on lately in the trend of this brawl. The Wild, Montana State, right now over the last couple of years has started to get some wins. That win last year at home snapped a 6-game losing streak, but the Bobcats are still 2-20 in the last 22 meetings with Montana. They have not won in Missoula since February of 2010. They've lost 11 straight games here. So regardless of everything else, Montana State still has a lot of momentum to take back in this all-time series.
Without question, they do. And the Bobcats have got an opportunity tonight. I think they are the better team. I think they're deeper. I think they are so much better defensively, especially. It's really, can the offense carry them enough to get that separation? And ultimately, I'd love to see them play from out front.
Well, we'll find out in about 3 minutes. We take our final pregame break. When we get back, we've got your starting lineups and tip-off between Montana State and Montana. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. Got it. Thank you. Montana State has won in Missoula just 3 times this century, but they've got an opportunity today to try to take 2 of the last 3 overall against the Grizzlies. They come in as probably the more skilled and talented team, and we'll see if that rises above in another die-hard rivalry game today. All right, before we get to our prime lending tip-off and starting lineups, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Bobcat Basketball. I'm Keaton Galungoli alongside Brian Preby. Jesse Robolato is back in the studios, and this is the Brawl of the Wild. It's Montana State and Montana today. Before we get to our prime lending tip-off, let's take a look at our starting lineups. For Montana State, no surprises in their starting lineup today. Caleb Fuller, Darius Brown, Raekwon Battle, Jabril Bello, and there is actually one surprise. Great Osabor getting into the starting lineup today. So Osabor in the starting lineup along with Jabril Bello. That is a big difference and change for Montana State. For Montana, their lineup looks like this. Anand Moody, Brandon Whitney in the backcourt. In the front court, Josh Bannon, who crossed over 1,000 career points recently. Mac Anderson, who is the Bozeman native, went to Bozeman High School. And Deshaun Thomas, the Colorado State transfer. Well, here we go. Great Osabor into the starting lineup, Brian. That is a huge change for Montana State.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's some of why Montana's gone with Mac Anderson in the starting lineup with Deshaun Thomas and Josh Bannon. That's as big as Montana can play. That's their only 3 true kind of big guys. To put them all on the floor early tells me zone is coming.
Yeah, and Mac Anderson's only made 2 starts this year, but he does get into every game, plays about 12 minutes, only scores about 2 points per game, but he's 6'9", and this is the exact lineup that Danny talked about in the pregame conversation about how big Montana truly can go. So even though Montana is such a 3-point shooting team, this thing looks like it's going to start in the post tonight.
Yeah, I think they're gonna start zone, man. There's no way that those 3 bigs can guard on the perimeter. Effectively, that means one of them has to guard Raekwon Battle, and that's a matchup Montana State would just die to have.
Well, we'll find out. We are here. Enough of the chatter, enough of the talk, enough of the trash. We are ready to find out who the better team is today. Montana State and Montana. A series that dates back to 1902, and today we sit courtside at the 304th edition. Montana State all-time is 149 in wins, 154 in losses. The Bobcats in the road navy blues, the gold font on the front and the gold numbers on the back. And for Montana in the home whites, that maroon Montana written in an arc across the chest, outlined in silver, and we are ready for basketball. The big cartoon Grizzly at center court underneath the feet of Mac Anderson and Jabril Bello. Mac Anderson, the Bozeman High native, ready to go. Jabril Bello there, the reigning MVP, and the tip is won by the Bozeman High alum, and we are underway. Our prime lending tip-off coming just 4 minutes past the top of the hour. Grizzlies with the basketball first. Bannon to post up, down to the right block against Osabor. Kicks it back out to the right wing. Anand bounces into the post. Bannon into the middle of the lane. Pump fake, leans in, got blocked. Jabril Bello rejected it, approaching the all-time career record in blocks, and he gets one early on the first possession of the day. Bobcats on offense for the first time tonight. 19:30 to go in the first half. Bello down to the left block, back to the basket. Try to back down in on Anderson. Hops into the lane, righty hook. No. Battle for the rebound, and Montana wins it. Osabor almost pulled it out in the middle of 3 white jerseys. Moody out to Bannon over on the left wing. Slings up to the top of the key. Whitney has it, moving left. Throws back up to the top. Now pass into the post. No, fake the pass, tries an elbow jumper. That's no good. An offensive rebound on a tip, and Montana can reset. Grizzlies with it. Here's the drive by Whitney. Gets to the mid-post, kicks it out for Bannon. Calling out for a screen, guarded by Osabor. With the dribble, Bannon moves right and sends over to Moody. Moody against Battle. Step back, 2 balls in the air. No, off the heel of the iron, and Osabor tips the rebound to Fuller, and here come the Bobcats in a scoreless game. 18:40 to go in the first. Brown crossing over, gets to the elbow, bounce into the post, back out to Brown, back to the post for Osabor. Down to the right baseline. Trying to back in, gets himself into the lane, kicks it out to Battle. His first touch. Battle with the dribble, gets down to the left baseline, pulls up, the jumper, swirls home. Raekwon Battle opens the scoring. First 2 points of the ball game come off the mid-range J.
And again, Raekwon Battle with a huge advantage. He's got about 6 inches on Moody, so he's going to just be able to rise up and shoot any jump shot he wants to.
Battle coming off a 22-point performance in the Idaho loss. Toss up to the top of the key. Mac Anderson hands off to Moody. Turns the corner around the screen. Jump pass picked off. Darius Brown has the steal. He's in transition. One-on-one going to the cup. Finger roll. Goaltend. That'll count. Darius Brown able to get it through. 2 minutes in, the Bobcats lead 4-0 over the Grizzlies.
And what we said, Bobcats want to have a good start. 2 minutes in, great start. 4-0. They're playing tremendous defense, forced 2 turnovers. Only negative on defense has been the 1 offensive rebound.
Montana with the basketball to our left. Bannon has it up at the top. Hands off to Whitney on the left wing. Those are the 2 junior leaders who have been here since their first year, 3-year players. Out to Moody. Around to Bannon on the left wing. Works his way into the lane. Puts his back to the basket. Osabor deters, and Bannon has to take it out with 7 to shoot. Bannon drives in again. Stops on the left block. He's in deep. Tries to contest a jumper. Well short off the side of the backboard. Bobcats have the rebound. Osabor, terrific defense. Montana State leading 4-0.
Yeah, tremendous effort there. One-on-one defense by great Osamar, taking away Bannon's left, making him go back to his right.
Bounce into Osabor down to the right block, works his way into the middle of the lane. Lefty hook is up, got it to go, got a little shove, able to finish anyway. Great Osabor on defense at one moment, and now offensively finds his first field goal. Bobcats lead 6-0, 17 minutes to go in the first half.
And all the Cats' points have come inside at 15 feet.
Moody off a screen, tries a long 2 and swirls it home. Toe on the line, Moody put it in. He's a streaky shooter, 38% from downtown, even though that was a step inside the arc. But when it falls for him early, it usually falls for him late. Montana State with the ball. Brown throws up to Bello at the top of the key. Picks it out on the left wing, hands off for Brown. He works his way over the left wing. One-hand pass up the top, bounce into the post. Bello turns, hooks, got it. Great Osabor, beautiful pass from the top of the key, and Jabril Bello able to finish. Bobcats have 4 field goals from 4 different players in the first 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, Bobcats sharing the ball great on offense, getting a lot of post touches, getting the ball deep.
Whitney working on Brown, down to the right block, leaning, good off the glass. Tough finish by Brandon Whitney, who's 11 points per game this year.
And that's Whitney's game, right drive. He was able to get the angle on Darius Brown there and get to the basket.
Bello in the post on the left block, back in, shoulder into the chest, turns with the Big Sky logo, now steps through, Euro step, and lost it, got it blocked. Montana picks up the loose ball, moving from right to left. Deshaun Thomas has it, throws up to the top of the key for Mac Anderson. 5th-year senior, moves to his right, hands off to Whitney at the top. Then over the bounce against Brown, moving inside. Whitney against Brown, down to the right block, picks up the dribble, turns, hooks it, no. Bello the rebound, and had it taken out of his hands by Whitney. He brought it down, and Whitney just stole it right away. Grizzlies with another fresh shot clock. Thomas for 3, yes. Deshaun Thomas knocking it down to the right wing, converting off the offensive rebound. They've drawn to within 1. Montana State 8, Montana 7, 15-20 to go in the first half. Brown up to Osabor at the top. He's driving into the lane. Bounce pass. Bad pass. Tip free. Stolen by Montana. Bad turnover. Osabor knows it. Patting himself on the chest. Shaking his head down the floor. Montana sets it up. Moody on the left wing. Trying to drive. Pulls up in the mid post. Kicks it back out topside. The 3. No good off the heel of the iron. And the Bobcats fight for the rebound and win it. And they move from left to right.
Great defensive possession. Getting the stop there. And the Bobcats are doing a great job on the glass right now.
Brown out on the left wing. Moves it around to the right wing for Fuller. He drives down to the right baseline. Throws back up top to Brown. Brown with a bounce, moving left, around a screen, 9 to shoot, an offensive foul, an illegal screen. Great Osabor tag for his first foul, and we've got our first break. 2 big runs, an 8-0 run and a 7-0 run to start the ball game. Bobcats on the right side of that. 14:40 to go in the first half. Montana State 8, the University of Montana 7. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. Rocky Mountain Credit Union, supporting Bobcat wins for over 75 years and counting. By members' choice, this financial institution is not federally insured. Each account, though, is insured up to $250,000. 14 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first half. Montana State leading the University of Montana 8-7 after our first real stoppage of play at this point.
Yeah, it really was, and both teams were ready to get some guys in the game. Tyler Patterson checks in for Montana State, and Lionel Martin Jr. checks in for Montana, but both teams couldn't get anybody in there. There just wasn't any whistles. But we're not going to complain about that. We've had one foul call in 5 minutes. That's a great pace.
Sent at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, sitting courtside next to the Bobcat bench. Montana with the basketball. Whitney hands off to Moody. Back to Whitney, who's been scoring the ball a little bit more over the last couple of ball games. Goes over to the left wing for Deshaun Thomas. Works his way down to the mid-post, working on Caleb Fuller. Backing into the middle of the lane. Tries to step through, instead falls away. Misses on the front iron. And Raekwon Battle levitates in the air to rip that rebound down. Bobcats basketball leading 8-7. Just over 14 minutes to go in the first. Brown into the mid-post. Kicks out to the top. Fuller, open three. No, missed it left. Long rebound, and the Bobcats take it away. Alley-oop up top. Raekwon Battle! Two-hand slam from the right wing down to the left block. The offensive rebound turns into an alley-oop and two for Raekwon Battle.
Big offensive rebound right there. Jabril keeps it alive. Darius grabs it, and Raekwon cuts to the rim for the quick two.
Moody out to the top. Throws over the left wing, pump fake. Martin steps inside, tries the two, and knocks it down. Lionel Martin Jr.'s first 2 points. Typically a starter coming out of Flint, Michigan, but like we talked about earlier, they did start with their biggest lineup. Montana did, really both the Bobcats and the Grizzlies did. Montana State with the ball to our right, leading 10-9. 13:20 to go in the first half. Battle draws a double team, looking for the post over on the right wing. Picks up the dribble and hands it off to Brown. Brown moving left. Jump pass into the right corner. 8 to shoot. Into the post. Bello on the right block. Spins left shoulder. Hooks it up and got it in. You can see his jersey get tugged down by the defender, Mac Anderson. And Jabril Bello able to finish anyway. He's got 4 points.
Yeah, really nice post move. I like how Jabril's realized he's not getting doubled, so he's going quick, making quick post moves, and he's having great success in there.
How about his conditioning playing the first 7-8 minutes of this ball game? Kick out to the right wing for the Grizzlies as they work offensive. Down into Thomas in the post, working on Fuller. Puts up the righty hook and got it to go. Fuller went down and pops back up. No call when he went down. And Thomas able to finish. 12:35 to go in the first half. Montana State leading 12-11. Not quite a sellout today. Some seats up top still filling in. Brown out of the right wing, turns down to the right block, leans in, lays it home with the right hand. That's what Darius Brown can do. Just slips right to the cup. He may not be the fastest in a foot race, but boy, he is quick when he needs it. Whitney up at the top. Crosses over against Brown, and a foul. Yep, Brown kind of used his arm to slow and impede the action of Brandon Whitney. That's the first foul on Darius Brown. The Bobcats need your support to go for the win. Donate to the Bobcat Club's 3 to Win campaign to help us reach our $3 million goal supporting student athletes.
Yeah, the Bobcats go with Ford at the point now, so Brown takes a seat, and Montana comes back with Bannon, so they've just played their 6 guys thus far.
Bannon takes the inbounds pass and hands it off to Brandon Whitney out of the right wing. Now given to Moody, looking for the post, finds Bannon down to the right block, working against Fuller. Bannon banging into the body, and we got a whistle, and he traveled. Good defense again by Caleb Fuller that time. Bobcats with the ball up 14-11, 12 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, both teams now with 3 turnovers, so the Bobcats had a couple early, great. Osabar with the bad pass and the offensive foul. It's now evened out with 12:01 to play.
Whitney taking a seat, Moody into the game. Vasquez is also just checked into the ball game. He's an outstanding three-point shooter. Josh Vasquez, although he was scoreless against Eastern Washington, going 0 for 5 from downtown in their last game, which was the loss against the Eagles on the road. Montana State with the ball moving from left to right, leading by 3. Robert Ford gives it to Raekwon Battle up at the top, looking for the post. Steps up for a 3. That's no good off the front iron, and Montana has the rebound. Grizzlies from right to left. Bannon has it. Throws up to the top of the key for Martin. He moves left, working on Tyler Patterson with a bounce. Comes back right around a screen. Bounce into the post, tipped and stolen. Fuller reached around, knocked it away, and Ford picks up the loose ball. Hand off to Raekwon Battle. Draws contact, floats it up. They're going to call that on the floor, but he did draw the foul on Lionel Martin. And that will take us to a break. Boy, this is a well-played basketball game right now. Very well officiated as well, and this is everything you want out of the Brawl of the Wild. 11:29 to go in the first half. Montana State leading Montana 14-11. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. Back to the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading the University of Montana 14-11. 11:29 to go in the first half. The Bozeman Come On In Hotel and Suites is a proud sponsor of MSU Athletics and the Montana State Alumni Association. The Come On In allows you to escape the ordinary while enjoying their numerous hotel and guest room amenities. Visit ComeOnIn.com to book your stay today. Again, Montana State 14, Montana 11. 11:29 to go in the first half. Brian, what are you seeing?
Yeah, I just think both teams are playing at a pretty high level offensively. Cats shoot 70% at this point in time, and 12 of their 14 points have come in the paint. The only ones that didn't were that Raekwon Battle little 15-foot jumper to start things off. So the defense has got to catch back up to the offense here, although the last 2 or 3 possessions, it's felt like Montana State has got a little beat on what Montana's doing, forced a couple turnovers, get some stops, and Montana's now only shooting 42%.
Lecolot into the ball game now, so right now it's Ford run of the point along with Raekwon Battle and Tyler Patterson, and then Lecolot at the 4 and Bello at the 5. Patterson to inbound on the Bobcats baseline, still looking and finds Lecolot in the right corners. The Cats set up their offense. Ford has it out on the right sideline, picked up by Vasquez. Takes it out to the Grizzlies logo, now crosses over to get to the elbow. Nowhere to go yet, looking for the post. Instead skips it into the left wing, now down to Bello, down on the left block. Bello spins left shoulder, righty hook, no, missed it off the right side of the rim. Montana has the rebound, and they move from right to left.
And Montana's yet to double in the low post, something Jabril Bello hasn't seen relief from in weeks.
He's got 4 points so far, had a pair of double-doubles in the 2 meetings last season, which were split, each won by the home team. Here's Thomas against Bello, into the middle of the lane. Thomas, pump fake, and has to get rid of it. Nice defense. Back out to Bannon. 6 to shoot. Hand off to Martin. Kicks out to the right corner. Here's a 3. That is short. The Bobcats get the stop and the rebound. Ford pushes ahead. Patterson down in the left corner, and he kicks it out to the top of the key to slow it down. That's a great pass and a wise decision to slow it down. Ford sliding to his left up at the top. Gives to Lecolot. Puts it on the floor beyond the perimeter. Hands off to Battle. Moving to his left. Back to Ford beyond the arc. He turns the corner. Trying to go to the rim. Forces it up and got it to go. Through tough contact and defense by Vasquez. And Robert Ford able to finish for his first 2 points of the game.
And Robert Ford has been key off the bench for the Bobcats all year. Able to come in, get some key buckets, make good decisions, and run his team.
He's been one of the more underrated players for the Bobcats this season. Transfer from Idaho State. Vasquez out on the right wing for the Grizzlies. Into Bannon, working on Lecolot. Backing his way into the lane. Bannon turns left shoulder, leans in with the right hand. Got it to go. Josh Bannon, his first 2 points. He's their top scorer, top rebounder, and he's got the most assists per game, and those are his first 2 points. 9:45 to go in the first half. Montana State 16, Montana 13. Bobcat basketball. Ford on the drive, going to the rack, righty layup, able to finish. Robert Ford getting rolling. He's got 4 points, and Montana State leads by 5.
And I like Ford defensively on Vasquez. Vasquez is a really good shooter, but not a super strong ball handler, and Ford likes to dog the ball out front.
He has been one of the best one-on-one defenders Robert Ford has for the Bobcats. And a foul. Jabril Bello had his hands wrapped around Deshaun Thomas. First foul on Jabril Bello. 9:18 to go in the first. Cats 18, Grizzlies 13.
Yeah, Montana State here has an opportunity. They've really been able to build these 3 and 5 point leads consistently. What they've not been able to do is follow that up with a stop and a score and push it to 7, 9, 10, 11. And that's what you'd like to see right here with about 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Bello's going to take his first seat of the game, I believe, as Osabor checks in. Up to the top, here's a three from Martin, and he rains it in. Ronell Martin, 37% from downtown, came off the screen for an open look, and he knocks it down. Montana State leading by 2, 9 minutes to go in the first half. Ford running the offense for the Bobcats. Ford to his right over to the right wing. Crosses over, we got a whistle, foul. They're charging that on Tyler Patterson. He knocked down the defender apparently, and Patterson picks up his first.
Yeah, Patterson rolled right through the defender right there. Ford was wide open, was going to have a good look at a three, but the official caught onto it, blew the foul. Bobcats get their 4th turnover.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it. I was a little screened, but it's the way it goes. Patterson picks up his first. 8:50 to go in the first half, and now the Grizzlies have a chance to tie or take the lead. Here's the drive by Whitney, down to the right block, in deep against Ford. Still backing in, forces it up. That is good, and one. Ford went down, blocking foul. Whitney going to the line, trying to complete the three-point play with a chance to give the Grizzlies their first lead of the evening.
Yeah, and that gets the crowd a little bit fired up. The student section right behind the basket where Montana scores loves it. And Whitney is just a guy, you've got to take away that right drive. His only 2 opportunities to score tonight have come off of that type of an action.
The free throw is good. 5 points for Brandon Whitney. He's been scoring 14.5 over the last 2 games. Before that, he had only scored 6 total points in his previous 3, so he's been streaky, and right now he's in his 3rd straight hot scoring game. Montana State finding themselves down by 1. First time they've trailed today. 8:30 to go in the first half. Bounce into Osabor down to the right block. Backing in. Kicks it out to Battle. He drives the right baseline. Gets inside, floats it up, and got it to go. Raekwon Battle, tough blue-collar take. Went right through his man, and Battle has 6 points in the first half.
Yeah, and he went right at Anderson, 2 of the more athletic guys in the league. Battle giving up some size there, but he goes into Anderson's body. He's able to finish.
That puts the Bobcats back on top, leading 20-19. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Here's a drive by Vasquez, cut off by Battle. Lobs it back out to Martin, and the Grizzlies reset. Here's Band at the top on the drive against Lekalot, going to the cup, got blocked. Sam Lekalot rejected it, and the Bobcats pick up the rebound. Here comes Ford. Alley-oop! Raekwon Battle just missed it on a pass from the half-court line, and Battle couldn't quite finish the 2-hand slam. Now Vasquez in deep, reverse layup no good, and a foul. That was Mac Anderson whacking the arm of Raekwon Battle. This game has had a frenetic pace, and in this Brawl of the Wild, it's the Bobcats leading by 1. Here's your score. Montana State 20, University of Montana 19, 7:40 to go in the first half. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. Join Champs New Kids Club, presented by Billings Clinic Bozeman. Your $25 membership fee gets you game tickets, Bobcat gear, and more. Sign up today at msubobcats.com/champskidsklub. Montana State leading Montana 20-19, 7:40 to go in the first half. Ryan, what do you see?
I think right now you just continue to see the offense. You said frenetic is the pace, and there's no doubt. It's just up and down, both directions. Both teams are going at the rim hard. Bobcats 18 points in the paint out of their 20 thus far, but they've only drawn one foul. I find that pretty stunning contrast. They've committed 5 fouls at this point in time, so boy howdy, that's just called being on the road, man.
Interwest Moving and Storage is the official moving company of the MSU Bobcats. Jabril Bellows coming back into this ballgame. He has sat for all of about 90 seconds of game time in this contest. That is incredible conditioning for a man like him.
Yeah, for a guy his size, but you know Montana's going to play their top 6 guys the whole time, so you don't want to give them any room to get a little bit of momentum or a feel going on the offensive end.
It's been fun. It's been everything we expect so far between the Bobcats and the Grizzlies. Montana State at 5-2 in Big Sky play. They're sitting in second place, but 2 games back of first. And Montana, they feel like they've let a few games slip through their claws throughout the season, sitting at 3-4 in the conference. They're trying to turn this into one of their turning point games. Darius Brown back into the ball game, throws to Ford, open, topside 3 ball. Missed it right. Rebound tipped, and Montana collects it. Bobcats start 0 of 3 from downtown. It's been one of those Achilles heels, and that was one of those open shots that did not fall. Whitney up at the top with a bounce. He's scored well over the last couple of games, including tonight. Looking for the post. Lobs to Bannon, but he's out near the right wing. Bannon only has 2 points so far. Working along the free throw line. Gets rid of it to Thomas on the left elbow. 7 to shoot. Back out to Martin. 6. Martin double trapped on the left sideline. 4 out to the left wing. Thomas deep NBA 3 with a hand in his face. Bricked it. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation. And there's that top defense of the Big Sky.
Yeah, that was tremendous defense there. Jabril, big time contest. And fortunate that the clock ran out because Bannon looked like he had an angle to get that rebound.
Montana State has held 4 of their 7 Big Sky opponents under 60 points. Montana State with the ball. Brown out on the left wing, works his way to the top. He drives, then gets cut off, throws out to the left wing, then a pass into the post, and a foul as Deshaun Thomas reached around Jabril Bello. 6:40 to go in the first half. Montana State leading 20-19 over Montana. And serving all your garage door needs, StoreTech is raising the door on quality.
We said it coming out of the timeout that with all the post touches to have only drawn a foul or 2 inside is tough. They get one right there.
13 foul on Montana the first half. Inbound to Bello down on the left baseline, out deep. Now trying to back in against Thomas. Works his way into the lane, gets inside, floats it up, got it to go off the window, and one. Jabril Bello started that play about a step inside the arc. He worked Deshaun Thomas all the way into the paint and was able to finish. Big call. Thomas picks up his second foul. 6 points for Jabril Bello, who's going to the line. And this is the first free throw attempt for the Bobcats today.
That's crazy. And Montana's only taken 1 as well. So at this point in the ball game, you are 14 minutes in, and just a pair of free throws have been taken.
I mean, do you think the officials are swallowing their whistle, or guys just playing discipline right now?
I think it's both, but I also like the officials are letting them play. Like, they're not a factor right now. If it's egregious, they're calling it. Otherwise, they're letting it happen as Jabril knocks down that free throw.
He's been outstanding at the stripe in Big Sky play. Got off to a slow start at the stripe this year, but he's been really, really good over the last couple of weeks. Montana State leading by 4. 6:20 to play in the first half. Grizzlies with the ball. Bannon trying to get going. Drives and kicks. Moody for 3. That swirls off, no good, and Jabril Bello has the rebounds. Bobcats get a quick stop. Ford slows it down. 2-point guard system here with Ford and Brown. Bello in the post along with Fuller and Patterson. Here's Ford up at the top. Over to Brown on the left wing. Moving right beyond the arc. Gets to the right elbow. Bounce pass into the post. And a foul. Bannon reaching around. That's the first foul on Josh Bannon. 15 foul. Bobcats will inbound.
Big calls right there. It's nice to see for Montana State that all these post feeds not only are leading the points, but now you're putting some pressure on Montana with fouls. They're not a deep team. We've said it a million times. They've got 5 team fouls. Now they've spread them evenly, but they cannot afford foul trouble.
This game is brought to you in part by the Montana State Fund, covering Montana's workers with workers' comp and safety know-how. Montana State with the ball. Bello backing down on the left block, directing traffic, talking to Brown. Now working his way into the lane against Anderson. Gets into the paint, turns, righty hook, swirling, no, rebound, tip, and Montana comes away with it. Good effort on the offensive glass. Brown nearly tipped it away again, but the Montana into the front court. Jackson Knapp with it, throws it up to the top, and the Grizzlies set it up. Travis DeCure directing traffic as the head coach. Both head coaches played here in their time in the 90s. Lob out to the left elbow. Mac Anderson facing up. Bounce into the post, down to the left block. Tipped momentarily. Knapp recovers with 8 to shoot. Knapp against Patterson, 6. Knapp into the lane. Spins on the left block. Stripped and fouled. Tyler Patterson picking up his second. 5:23 remaining in the first half. Montana State 23, Montana 19. Raekwon Battle in. Tyler Patterson to the bench.
Yeah, Patterson didn't need to reach right there. Knapp was about to travel, or he was going to have to kick it out late shot clock. The reach cost him a ticky-tack foul.
Whitney out on the right wing, tosses into the post. Bannon against Fuller. Bannon backing in, kicks it back out to the right wing. Back into the post for Bannon against Fuller again, down on the right block, backing into the lane, turns, lefty hook. That's good. That's a tough shot. Caleb Fuller's been playing some good defense. Josh Bannon has 4.
Yeah, Bannon, you let him get to that left hand right there, and he's going to score that basketball when he's that deep.
Under 5 to play in the first half. Brown out to the top. Fuller works his way into the paint, then backs it out. Montana State resets, calls a fresh play. Darius Brown with a bounce. Backpedaling toward the right wing, letting it set. Moves left around the Bellow screen. Weaves into the lane. Brown going to the rack. Right-handed layup. Got it to go off the window. That was a long route, and Darius Brown knew right where the soft spot of the defense was. Give Brown 6 points tonight.
Big-time play. He always knows when to pick his spots. Picked a great spot right there to get the Bobcats back up 4.
Darius Brown's a big-time player. Whitney with the ball, working his way into the lane. Turns, jump shot, swirls off, no good. Robert Ford, terrific. Disciplined defense. Montana State with the ball up 25-21, 4:15 to go in the first half. Bobcats have led for a majority of the game, but they have not led by more than 6, and they've done it all while going 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. Brown at the top, throws to Fuller over on the left wing. To the free throw line, Bellow spins into the lane, gets covered, kicks it back out to Fuller. 10 to shoot, Fuller on the drive, 8 into the lane, 7, steps through, floats it up, that's short, tip for the rebound, whistle, foul, and that's charged on Jabril Bellow, which will be his 2. Should be Bellow, right? Just double checking here. Yeah, it was on Jabril Bellow, his second. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for the Grizzlies when we come back after this timeout. 3:53 to go in the first half. Montana State 25, Montana 21. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Bridger Brewing Three Forks is now open for lunch and dinner. Stop by Wednesday through Sunday to enjoy our delicious food, craft beers, and cocktails. Bridger Brewers are now available at your favorite grocery stores and gas stations across Montana. Cheers to every journey being better than the last. Montana State leading Montana 25-21, 3:53 to go in the first half. We're sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Jabril Bellows just picked up his second foul, so he's heading to the bench, and Montana will be shooting a 1-and-1 here.
Yeah, Montana gets a pretty big break right there as Jabril Bellows, the first player in the game with a pair of fouls, so he will sit down. And that's something for Montana State. They've been able to overcome throughout this year. Sam Lekalak, Great Osabar, Caleb Fuller have been able to handle their time. And right now it'll be Lekalak and Osabar are going to take the reins in the post.
Wheat Montana weather report. It is pretty warm in here, actually. Nice and filled up. It was actually a gorgeous bluebird day walking around Missoula. Even though you're in Missoula, it was still nice weather. And Montana State right now with a 25-21 lead over Montana. See every pulse-pounding, buzzer-beating play in astounding detail with a patient experience and second to none. Experienced doctors and advanced technology. Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK and cataract surgeon of the Bobcats, is your home for laser vision correction. Learn more at VanceThompsonVision.com. Bobcats right now have Patterson and Bello with 2 personal fouls. Deshaun Thomas with 2 fouls for Montana right now. So Great Osabar back into the ball game. Here's the front end of the 1-and-1, and that is good from Mac Anderson, who's only scored 36 points so far this season, about 2 per game. Throughout his 5-year career, the Bozeman native is 5-1 against Montana State. Next shot is up and good. Mac Anderson puts them both in. Montana State with the ball, leading by 2. Raekwon Battle at the top, those around to Darius Brown. He moves to his right, weaves his way into the lane, kicks into the right corner. Open 3 from Lekalot. No, off the front iron. And the Bobcats 0 of 4 from downtown in the first half. Another good look.
Really good penetration by Brown to create that shot. Bobcats just still struggling to find that range from behind the arc.
Whitney up at the top, guarded by Ford. He'll back it out a little bit toward that Grizzlies logo. He moves to his right, gets to the elbow. We got a whistle and an illegal screen. Mac Anderson has picked up his second personal foul.
And that's going to force Travis Secure to go deep into the bench now. Thomas and Anderson both with a pair, and he doesn't want to risk either with 3 minutes to go here in the first half, so he's going to go deep. Laulu
Oki into the ball game. Transfer from a D2 program in Denver. He only plays about 7 minutes a game. Montana State with the ball. Lob into the post for Battle. Backing in against Moody. He's got the size advantage. Turns, follow HA. Pure Raekwon Battle able to put it home. Found his spot, and he puts in his 8th point of the day. Bobcats back up by 4.
And I like using Battle in the post. He's got a huge size advantage over Moody, and he's able to take advantage and get an easy look.
And he's got one of the sweetest fadeaway jumpers you'll find. Bannon hands off to Whitney. Crossing over, gets down inside, floats it up. That's good. Brandon Whitney continuing to roll. He's got 7 points in the first half.
And that's Whitney's game, getting downhill and getting to the basket. He hadn't even taken a shot yet that wasn't under 2 feet tonight.
Montana State with a 2-point lead, 2.5 to play in the first half. Raekwon Battle on the drive, gets to the mid-post, hop stop, puts up the jumper, kisses it off the window. Raekwon Battle doing it again. First to double figures, give him 10.
Yeah, and Raekwon, you can see it in his eyes. He's feeling it on the offensive end, and he's not settling. I love the fact he's attacking.
Montana with a basketball. Whitney moving to his right. Ooh, Brown went down, tripped Ford, kick to the left wing. Moody can't hit the 3. Foul going after the rebound, and this one is charged against Great Osabar. And that'll put Montana at the line for a 1-and-1. Second foul on Osabar. Bellows got 2 as well, and Brown and Ford had just gotten tangled up, which is what led to that open 3.
Yeah, just created chaos on the defensive end when you take your own guy out. Guys trying to scramble. Montana really didn't handle that as well as they could have, because they easily could have attacked the basket and had something pretty easy.
Set the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Do want to shout out the women who won today, 72-63 on this floor earlier today. Grace Beasley had 13 points. Cola Badbear had 13 and 7 rebounds. And Darian White, 22 points, 7 boards. That was a comfortable win for the women today. Front end of the 1-and-1 is no good. Long rebound, and Bannon comes away with it. Montana, another offensive rebound. Bannon throws over to the left wing, back up to the top. Grizzlies with the ball, trailing by 4, nearing the end of the first half. Bannon trying to drive, cut off by a double team, trying to kick it back out and does to Whitney. 4 to shoot, up the top, nap, and he traveled. The Bobcats force another turnover. Montana State's defense has been there. They can just hit 1 or or 2 more three-point shots, it's a totally different game.
Yeah, I mean, if they're shooting 25% from three right now, they're up 7, and with the ball, a chance to push it to double digits, but just have not found that rhythm yet. I wouldn't be surprised if either Darius Brown or Raekwon Battle find the rhythm here sooner than later.
Montana State 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. 4 different players have missed one time tonight. 90 seconds left in the first half. Montana State with the ball up 4 against the Grizzlies. Raekwon Battle has a star in his first half. Up to the top, Lecolot. Wrapped around to the left wing. Brown tries to 3-ball. Book it. Darius Brown, what can Brown do for you? He steps in every time the Bobcats need something. It's Darius Brown who can fill the hole, and he puts home the 3-ball on the left wing. Just when you ask for it, timeout called by the Grizzlies. That's a huge, big-time shot.
Yeah, and we've said it probably every broadcast, but good teams finish and begin halves well. Montana State started the game well, and right here late in the first half with under 2 minutes to go, Darius Brown hits a big 3. If they can combine that with a stop or 2 and a bucket, they can push this to double figures at the break.
Montana's Ribbon Chop House has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. Montana State leading at 32-25, 1:21 to go in the first half. The first of the 2 for all the Wilds this season. Brawls of the Wild or Brawl of the Wilds?
Brawl of the Wild, singular.
But there's 2 of them.
Nope.
No, okay, so it's just one whole thing.
The whole thing.
So the first edition of this
You
year's
got
Brawl of the
football,
Wild.
yeah, you got football, you got volleyball,
Right,
you got.
okay. Just double checking.
It's one big competition.
Sometimes I let my new guy show.
It feels like the Bobcats have won the Brawl of the Wild like 50 times.
Whitney drives and lays it in. Brandon Whitney with 9. It's a big score coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, and Whitney's really had to feel he's been able to get in the paint far too easily, and that's an adjustment the Bobcats will have to make at the break.
He's been kind of the canary in the coal mine for Montana. When he goes, the Grizzlies go. Raekwon Battle steps into a 3. They called a foul before the shot. Doesn't matter, he missed. They called a foul on
Bannon.
Oh, away from the ball underneath, and Bannon has now picked up 2. So Bannon, Anderson, and Thomas have all picked up 2 fouls, and Montana State will go to the line for the front end of a 1-and-1.
And I have to be honest, I didn't see it. The whistle blew before Raekwon even raised up to shoot, so I thought maybe he got slapped on the way up, but usually even then the official would let him finish the shot before he blew the whistle.
So it's going to put Sam Lecolot at the stripe for the Bobcats in the final minute of the first half. Montana State's been much better at the free throw line lately. They need it here. Front end is good. Sam Lecolot doing his job, picks up his first point of the day.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to see Montana State finish this half. They're going to get at minimum 1 for 1. If Montana's creative, they'll come down and try and get a quick shot.
Second free throw is no good. Montana State 2 of 3 from the free throw line of the first half. Bobcats leading at 33-27. 45 seconds left in the first half. Whitney on the drive, forces it up, off the window and in. Brandon Whitney again. He's got 11. And he sprinkles getting right into the ear of the officials now. Montana State with the ball. Darius Brown to his left up to the top of the key. Directing traffic. Lecolot playing the 5. Brown into the lane, spins, fall away jumper, got it to go. That is a beautiful shot off the spin move by Darius Brown. Montana State up 35-29, 13 seconds to go in the first half. Grizzlies basketball with a shot clock dark. Whitney's had the hot hand in the first half. 5 seconds left. Whitney up to the top 4. Whitney with 3, crosses over, kicks to the left wing. Vasquez with a 3. No, and that is the end of the first half. We'll take a break. This was a beautiful half of basketball, and the Bobcats lead the Grizzlies 35-29 going to halftime. We're sitting First Interstate Bank broadcast position. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Montana are now at halftime. The Bobcats lead the Grizzlies 35-29. Not only is dairy delicious, but it also promotes health as well. Just 3 servings of dairy a day improves overall wellness and may reduce the risk of developing some chronic diseases. It's a quick, convenient, and economic way to make sure you are staying strong and healthy on and off the field. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preby at Dahlberg Arena. And Brian, that was a high-level half of basketball.
Tremendous half. It was fantastic to watch. It was entertaining, and both teams played fantastic. Both ends of the court, they found ways to attack. Montana State early, it was all about attacking the low post. Osabar, Bello, getting the ball inside. They even posted up Raekwon Battle. Grizz answered. They were able to get off the bounce, especially Brandon Whitney. He's got 11 at halftime. And then Montana State responded with guard penetration, forward with a couple. You had the one by Brown, and Brown hit a tough 3 there late. And Montana State with a nice little 6-point halftime lead.
Sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position at halftime, Montana State leading 35-29. We'll step aside, more to come. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Set at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, Montana State leading the Grizzlies 35-29 right now. Monty, their big Grizzly mascot, trying to dunk off a trampoline and has been unable to do so for about 5 attempts, so he has resorted to break dancing. Save the date for MSU's annual Giving Day, starting at noon on February 15th and going through 5 p.m. on February 16th. Support the Cats with a donation of any amount to the Bobcat Club Annual Scholarship Fund. Learn more at msuaf.org. Taking a look at some of the numbers from the first half. Montana State shot 64% from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. For Montana, 44% from the field, 2 of 8 from downtown, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 4 turnovers for the Bobcats, 5 for the Grizzlies, and Montana State was out-rebounded by 2, 13-11, and for Montana State, 24 of their 35 points came in the paint. Individually, the Bobcats led by Darius Brown, 11 points, 5 of 5 from the field, including a 3, a rebound, and 2 assists. Raekwon Battle, 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Jabril Bello, 7 points over 15 minutes on 3 of 6 shooting. 4 points for Robert Ford, 2 for Great Osobor, 1 for Sam Leckalot. For Montana, Brandon Whitney, the star of the show, 11 points on 5 of 7 from the field. Deshaun Thomas has 5 points. Lonell Martin has 5. Josh Bannon, 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Bobcats did a nice job against Bannon. Mac Anderson, 2 points. And Moody, only 2 points. They did a nice job on Moody, who's an outstanding 3-point shooter, and he is 0 of 2 from downtown. Real Milk is a nutrient-rich product. It contains 13 essential nutrients from vitamin A to zinc, all of which are important for healthy immune systems and overall wellness. That's 13 nutrients with seemingly endless benefits. Reach for milk and make every sip count. We are at halftime. Taking a break. Montana State leads Montana 35-29. We're set in the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Back to the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, sitting courtside at Dahlberg Arena. Montana State leading Montana 35-29. At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. We will be back at the Rib and Chop House on Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. for Cat Chat. We're talking both men's and women's hoops that day with Candy Sprinkle and Trisha Binford. For Montana State, 4 assists on 16 field goals in that first half. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services, and 1 Wendy's three-pointer in that first half as well. All right, Brian, we're getting ready to go for the second half. Still a few minutes to go, but what are some of the things you want to see from the Bobcats when we get to the second 20 minutes?
I think the biggest thing they've got to figure out right away is what are they going to do with Brandon Whitney and how are they going to keep him out of the paint. He has a tendency to use some hesitation dribbles and go hard to that right hand, but if he continues to get in there, that's going to start to open up other things for Montana that Montana State does not want to see. On the other end, offensively, get Jabril Bello back in rhythm now. He sat those last 4 or 5 minutes. Get him back out there, get him an early touch, keep Raekwon Battle involved, and the offense should take care of itself.
Raekwon Battle had 4 combined points in the 2 meetings last year. He had 10 in the first half tonight. We'll take a break for the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, and when we get back, we'll have the start of the second half. Montana State 35, Montana 29. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Sit at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Montana State leading Montana 35-29. Before we get to the start of our second half, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Bobcat basketball. I'm Keaton Galogly, sitting next to Brian Preby. Jesse Ropolato is back in the studios tonight, and Montana State leads Montana 35-29 as we get to the second half. Darius Brown had 11 points on 5 of 5 shooting, the transfer from CSUN. You know, Brian, where would this team be without Darius Brown this year?
He has been a revelation, hadn't he? I mean, 5 for 5 shooting, 2 assists, and once again, no turnovers. He just takes care of the ball. He gets his team where they need to be, and when he needs to score, he does. And he sensed tonight, hey, I'm going to have to score a little bit more, maybe early here to get a rhythm going for everybody else. It seemed like every time Montana would cut it to 2 or to even tie, Darius Brown was the guy on the other end.
He does it really in a controlled way as he gets to the rim, you know. It's almost like he's just going around those cones during practice, you know. He just kind of weaves in and out. All of a sudden he gets that one half step and boom, just explodes to the cup.
Yeah, and he just plays the game calm.
Yeah.
Like, that's the word I would use. He's just always calm, and I think that permeates everybody else on the floor. They just are a little more relaxed when he's out there and he's in control.
Fun to know he's got an extra year coming back next season as well. Caleb Fuller is on the floor. Same starting 5 here for the Bobcats. It's Battle, Bello, Osabor, Fuller, and Brown. Yeah, that's 5. And for Montana, they are going with that big look again to start the second half. Whitney in the backcourt along with Moody, and then Bannon, Anderson, and Thomas in the front court. Raekwon Battle with the ball to start the second half. Toss into the post, pass is tipped. It is loose. Trying to save it, cannot, and Montana takes it away. They push it the other way. Moody, thought about an open 3. Raekwon Battle, good hustle to get in and close it out. Bobcats leading the Grizzlies 35-29, 19:35 to go in the second half. We're just getting started in the second half. Kick into the left corner. Whitney pumps the 3 and traveled. Turnover by Montana. Bobcat basketball.
Both teams start out turnover. Obviously not what they're looking to do if they can help it. But Montana State's got the ball now and a chance to kind of assert things. You want a great start to the second half. It goes without saying, but especially on the road.
Flipping sides. Bobcats moving from right to left of the road. Navy Blues. Brown, bounce into the post for Bello, makes the catch, one dribble, gathers, floats, draws the foul. Just short off the glass, so he misses the shot, but Jabril Bello will go to the line as Mac Anderson quickly picks up his 3rd foul.
And again, Darius Brown, your point guard, says, hey, I'm going to get my big fella a touch here early second half. They run the set call from the first possession, but second possession, he makes sure to get that ball to Jabril. Jabril pays dirt, draws the foul.
Jabril Bello, 1 and 3 all time against the Grizzlies. Knocks down his first free throw. Give him 8 points now. Bobcats trying to win here for the first time since 2010. They've lost 11 straight here at Dahlberg Arena. Travis DeCure, the 9th-year head coach of Montana, has never lost at home against the Bobcats. Bello lining it up. The second shot is up and through. Jabril Bello rock solid at the stripe. 9 points tonight.
Let's hope the Bobcat men can carry what the women did. They went 22-4 to start the second half against the Lady Grizz earlier today.
Montana with the ball to our right, 1 minute into the second half. Bobcats leading by 8. Whitney trying to drive. Brown cuts him off, comes back left, still nowhere to go and gets rid of it out to the top. Deshaun Thomas trying to drive, working in on Bello. Fall away jumper, got it to go. Deshaun Thomas just kind of flicking it in with his wrist. 7 points for Deshaun Thomas. He scores 12 a game. Played 3 years over at Colorado State. We played in 91 games. Montana State with the ball. Brown picks up the dribble, throws up to Raekwon Battle at the top, who had a great first half. Bounce into the post for Osabor down to the right block. Osabor backing in against Bannon. Gets himself into the lane, turns, hooks off the glass, rims in. Got a clunky bounce, but it still counts. 4 points for great Osabor, who thought he got fouled there.
Watch the pop, JB.
Like he was off balance right there and was able to somehow get that thing on the rim and let it fall through.
He's so athletic for his size. His footwork is otherworldly. Montana, bad pass. Ooh, they just saved it over on the left sideline. Grizzlies going to work offensively. 9 to shoot. Whitney on the drive, gets down to the left block. Pump fake, lost his balance, kicked it out. 5 to shoot. Thomas down to the right baseline. Tip free. Jabril Bello got in there and knocked it away, jumping through the passing lane.
tremendous defense there as he took away the shot so Thomas couldn't fire up a three.
That's your MVP defensively. Gets inside, could not finish with the left hand, and Montana has the rebound. Danny Sprinkle is hot. Moody on the drive, kicks out to the right wing. Whitney with a head of steam, turns around, kicks back out to the right corner. We got a whistle. That's an offensive foul, I believe, right?
It's on Whitney. Raekwon Battle jumps over and takes the charge.
Timeout called. We will take a timeout as well. A Prime Lending timeout. Prime Lending home loans made simple. Taking a break from the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 17:38 to go in the ball game. Montana State 39, Montana 31. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. At First Interstate Bank, it's about supporting our communities and cheering on our teams. Thank you for letting us be your trusted community bank for more than 50 years. First Interstate Bank, built for you, member FDIC. 17:38 to go in the second half. Montana State 39, the University of Montana 31. Brian, this feels like a pivotal moment in this game.
Yeah, it just feels like Montana State has an opportunity here to gather the momentum and really take control of this basketball game. The adjustment on Whitney and going way under the ball screens has slowed his penetration down. Montana's had 4 possessions, 3 turnovers, and 1 basket. Otherwise, the Bobcats have been on point here defensively.
Montana, which has put in 9 threes a game in conference play and shoots 37% from downtown, is just 2 of 8 from beyond the arc today. The perimeter defense by the Bobcats has been exceptional, and right now, Darius Brown has 11 points, Raekwon Battle has 10, Jabril Bello has 9. The Stars have shone brightly under the brightest lights tonight.
Yeah, without question, the Bobcat Big Three have really stepped up here, and we'll see what coaching staff really drew up coming out of this timeout. Again, an opportunity to kind of seize control, push this thing to double digits.
Andy Hill looked like he had something. Brown on the drive, kicks into the right corner. Fuller works his way into the paint, stops just outside the lane, and throws it back up. Cats being patient. Brown over to the right corner. Fuller lets the 3 go. Too strong. Fight for the rebound, and Montana has it. Another terrific look. I mean, Brian, the percentage of quality looks the Bobcats are getting from 3 has got to be up above 75%.
Yeah, I'm sure they've looked at it. I mean, they're getting good looks. They're just not making them, and right now, just a single 3 all night.
Into the lane. Whitney kicks it back out to Moody. He turns the corner, going to the cup. Floater, too strong off the window. Offensive rebound by Bannon, and a foul fighting for the loose ball. Charge to Caleb Fuller. That's Fuller's first. Credit the Cats defense for affecting that shot by Moody initially. Tyler Patterson checked in with the game. He had 2 fouls, no points in the first half. Fuller to the bench.
Yeah, smart foul by Fuller right there. Bannon was going to get an easy deuce, make him earn it, and then they called it on the ground, so he's not even going to get to shoot. But the Bobcats try to block the shot of Moody as he drives, and that opens up the backside for the offensive boards.
Montana to inbound on their own baseline. They trail 39-31 against the Bobcats. 17 minutes to go in the game. Hand off to Whitney, who had the hot hand of the first half. Goes back up the top for Bannon. Hand off for Moody. He's been quiet. Moody into the lane, puts up the finger roll. No, foul, charge. Jabril Bello was there. Wait, they called it. Yeah, there was a charge, right? Are they checking if he was in the restricted area. Hang on. Hang on.
He was in the restricted, I'm sure. Yeah, he was in the restricted area. So even though one official had charged, the other had blocked, it was because he was in the restricted area. It's going to go down as a block.
And that was the right call, right? He was in the restricted area, it looked like?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Now, they put that on Battle?
Yeah, Battle tried to take the charge in there.
I thought Bello go down.
Maybe they got him before the shot then.
Okay, because Bello was the one who went down, as the free throw is good for Moody.
Better for the Bobcats the foul's on Battle, as that'll be his first.
Correct.
Versus Bello's third.
Right, Bello has 2. Okay, so they did just switch it. Yep, they did just switch it. It is 13. So they were calling it on the blocking foul. So Jabril Bello has picked up his third.
And that's a big foul for Montana State.
16:40 to go. We're in the second half. Montana State up 39-33. Brown over to the right wing, Osabor. Hands off for Patterson. He's got the bounce. Hand off to Osabor. Down right of the lane. Backing his way in. Backing down. Still backing in. 7 to shoot. Gets in the lane. Lefty hook. That is good and one. Great Osabor. Beautiful patience. Terrific footwork. And he finishes with a gentle hook shot through contact and will go to the line. That's a big boy bucket.
Yeah, that was a big time shot. He just elevated above everybody. And it looks like Coach Sprinkle and his staff have convinced the officials to take a look at that last foul. Was it on Bello or was it on Raekwon Battle?
Okay, so they originally, first of all, I thought it was going to be on Bello because he was the one who went down trying to take the charge. They called it on Battle, right? And then they switched it and said, no, it's going to be on 13, but they kind of did it as they were coming back and getting into the rhythm of play, so the coaching staff didn't see that. And it is going to be Battle.
It is,
Bello. It is going to be Bello.
Yeah, and so both officials, one had charge, one had block. The charge official gets overruled because he says it's in the restricted area, and they end up going with that call.
Osabor completes the three-point play at the line. And the coaching staff, I think, is partly upset just because they didn't see it. Like, they didn't really totally communicate that effectively that it was going to be on Bello instead of Battle. Montana with the ball. 9-point lead for the Bobcats. Moody, whistle, and an illegal screen. Deshaun Thomas has picked up his third. So Anderson and Thomas each have 3, 2 of their key front court contributors.
And a fourth second-half turnover on Montana right there. That has been a huge part. It's been the Bobcat defense early second half that has pushed us to a 9-point lead.
Battle off a screen, getting into the lane, going to the rack, puts it up. No, got blocked. Bannon went straight up, and Moody has the rebound. He's moving from left to right and gets cut off. Goes up to Thomas at the top. Back to Moody to slow it down. Moody trying to turn the corner, puts up the runner, swish. Moody's got 5. 15:40 to go in the ball game. Montana State leading it 42-35 over the University of Montana. Trying to win in Dahlberg Arena for the first time since 2010. Brown, alley-oop, Raekwon Battle cannot make the catch, a little bit out of his reach, out of bounds, turnover by Montana State. That'll take us to a Prime Lending timeout for the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 15:29 to go in the ball game. Here's your score. Montana State leading 42-35 over Montana. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Town Pump is a proud sponsor of the Brawl the Wild rivalry series between Montana State and the University of Montana. It's all sports, all season long. Look for special Brawl the Wild promotions at your local Town Pump. We're sitting in a First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Bobcats leading 42-35 over the Grizzlies. 15:29 to go in the ball game. We have a resolution. It was Jabril Bellows' foul a little bit earlier.
Yeah, no question. It was Jabril. He was in the restricted area. That's why he didn't get the charge, because if he was outside of that arc, it would have been a charge. There's no question. He was there in plenty of time. We got a confirmation from the official there during the timeout. But here you're back at another crucial moment now. Montana seems to have wrestled a little bit of momentum. Since they can't get Moody going to the rim off the bounce, now they've gotten, since they can't get Whitney going to the rim, now they have Moody who's just putting his head down and going to the rim. And so Montana's, again, just trying to get downhill, and that's been their best offense tonight.
Brown and Battle have not scored in the second half yet. Grace Osobor, the leading second half scorer. He's got 5 of his 7 points since the break. Grizzlies basketball, 15:25 to go in the game, and Montana State leads it 42-35 against their arch rival. Whitney moving to the top with the bounce against Brown. Works his way into the lane, hesitates, leans in, kisses it off the window, and takes it home. Brandon Whitney, his first 2 points in the second half. He's got 13. He had 17 against Montana State in the meeting here at Dahlberg Arena. Brown on the drive, throws it back out to Raekwon Battle to reset. Battle with the bounce. Goes into the post, Osobor, down to the right block, working against Anderson. Osobor gets his way into the lane, draws a double, stops, and kicks it out. Lekelot, he's got an open 3, swirls off, no good. Wide open, didn't fall. That would have been a big one. Montana with the basketball. Grizzlies to our right. They trail by 5, 14:35 to go in the game. Whitney on the drive, had it poked free out of bounds, and they're going to say it was off of Lekelot's hands. Lekelot definitely got it. I thought Whitney touched it after the tip, but instead it's staying with Montana. So the Grizzlies will inbound, and now the official's talking about it. Lekelot definitely got the initial hand on it. Did Whitney touch it after the fact? The officials are talking about it right now.
Yeah, Whitney definitely touched it after that.
And it's Bobcat basketball. I think they got that right.
Yeah, they got it right. That's what matters. Even if they screw it up at the beginning there, good teamwork by the officials to make sure they get it right.
Montana State with the ball. That's a big call. The Bobcats have a 5-point lead, and they get the ball back. Brown looking for the post. Throws back up to Fuller. Bellows still on the bench. Osobor working his way in the post, trying to post up. Draws that pass down on the left block. Working against Anderson. He's facing up here down on the left baseline with 7 to shoot. Now working his way in, shoulder to chest, spins right shoulder into the double team, and has it knocked out of bounds. Staying with the Bobcats, 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and right now what Montana's doing is just basically a drop zone. Anytime the ball goes into the post, whoever's guarding the 4-man stands under the basket and just gets ready to double. Sam Lekelot, Caleb Fuller have got to knock down shots, or they got to make them pay on the offensive glass.
The official coming up and talking to Mac Anderson, saying, hey, you got to take your hand off of Osobor here. And now we're ready to go. Brown with 4 seconds to shoot, ready to inbound. Still looking. We got a whistle and an offensive foul. Martin went down. I think it was Raekwon Battle.
Yeah, Raekwon just pushed off to get an angle there and get himself open. Easy call.
Know what's below. Tap, click, or call 811 before you dig. Brought to you by Montana, 811.org. Montana State up 42-37 over the Grizzlies. 14 minutes to go in the ball game. Neither team has really taken a stranglehold at any point in this game. Vasquez over to Whitney, crossing over on Brown, spins into the lane, and has to kick it out. Here's Moody against Battle. Tries to step back, gets rid of it. Good defense. Vasquez crossing over to his right, gets to the free throw line against Patterson. Now turns and slings it back out. Martin slipped, keeps his balance, and gets down to the right block, puts up a floater. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Anderson spins into a double team whistle, and foul. Caleb Fuller stepped in. Anderson kind of turned into him, and they're going to give Fuller the second foul of his evening.
Yeah, just wrong place, wrong time right there. Probably a no call, if anything, but the whistle blows.
Bobcat basketball presented by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. Download the McDonald's app for free large fries every men's Cats basketball game day. Montana with the basketball. They trail 42-37, 13.5 to play in the ball game. Up at the top, Whitney has the bounce against Fuller. Crosses over into the lane, had it, poke free, picks it back up and sends it out to the right wing. Martin tries a 3, too strong, rebound, and a foul. Osobor coming over the back. And you can hear what the crowd thinks of it. This is as loud as they've been all day. Third foul on Great.
Yeah, and right there, just Montana State's a little out of rhythm defensively, trying to get this figured out. And Great gets stuck in there and gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, as they say.
5th team foul on Montana State in this half. So not shooting yet, but it's starting to get close. Bobcats still leading by 5. A little bit of a scoring drought on both sides here over the last 2 or 3 minutes. Mac Anderson accepts the inbounds pass. Throws out to Moody, who dribbles to his left up the top. Around to Whitney over on the left wing. He's been the top scorer for Montana today. Whitney works his way to the free throw line. Into the lane, gets cut off by Osabor. Still looking for somewhere to go. One-on-one against Osabor. Driving into the lane again, stops, and gets rid of it to the top. Moody tries a contested 3. Splash. From way downtown, Anand Moody has his first 3 of the game, and that helps blow the roof off this place now. Bobcats lead cut to 2.
And a 9-2 run since Jabril Bello picked up his 3rd foul.
Big possession here for the Bobcats. Fuller down to the left block. Working in on Martin. Working his way into the lane. Spins right shoulder. Lefty hook. Too strong off the glass. Rebound Montana. Ford tips it free out of bounds, but it's going back to Montana. And a huge possession here for the Grizzlies. A chance to take their first lead since midway through the first half. And Darius Brown is checking back in. Tyler Patterson will take a seat.
Be interesting to see how long Danny Sprinkle feels like he can leave Jabril Bello over here on the sideline. He's got three fouls with 12:36 to go, but Montana definitely starting to take some momentum.
12:30 left in the ball game. Montana State 42, Montana 40. Bobcats have led a majority of the game. Whitney at the top, crossing over into the lane against Battle. Spins to his left shoulder, stops, Swarm, gets rid of it. Martin lost it out of bounds, and a turnover by the Grizzlies. Big stop there, and now Montana State has got to get some offense rolling.
Yeah, Grizzlies with 6 turnovers in the second half. In just 8 minutes, they had 5 in the first half.
Danny Sprinkle is taking it to another level tonight.
And he comes back with Jabril Bello here. So you want to maximize his opportunities. I'd imagine something to give him a touch and make Montana do something. Caleb Fuller got to be ready to shoot or rebound because they're not going to guard him once it goes into the post.
Battle moving right, on his way to the rack, elevates, lays it off the glass and in, and what a big old flex out from Raekwon Battle. Boy, he went right into the chest of the defender and still found a way to finish. He is so strong in the air. Mac Anderson picking up the foul. That's his 4th.
And that's a big foul for Montana. Mac Anderson's had a nice game today. He's been their best defensive matchup in the low post.
Here comes Great Osabor. And Bello will take a quick seat.
Yeah, you don't want to, if you can get Jabril out before a defensive possession, you will, at least for the next several minutes, to try and keep things calm.
Raekwon Battle did not score in the meeting in Bozeman last year against the Grizzlies. He had 4 points in 6 minutes in this building last year. And boy, how things change over the course of a year. He knocks down this free throw. He has 13 points tonight. He's the Bobcats' leading scorer overall this season, and he's the leading scorer tonight. Big buckets for Montana State, up 45-40. 12 minutes to go in the ball game. Grizzlies with the ball, 2 all right in their home white uniforms. Bounce to the free throw line for Thomas. Working against Osabor. Trying to get rid of this basketball. One dribble and does throw out to Moody. Step behind an MBA line. Has the bounce and throws to the right wing. Martin gets an open 3 and missed it. Too strong, long rebound, and the Grizzlies have it. Whitney will reset. Boy, that thing bounced all the way out to the free throw line. Whitney looking to toss into the post. Ooh, that was almost a double dribble. Now gives to Martin out on the right wing. 8 to shoot. Martin down to the mid post. Throws back up to Thomas, 5. Thomas with a bounce, 4. Thomas step back, 2. Rimming, no. Battle the rebound. Good box out by Raekwon Battle. Bobcats with the ball on a 5-point lead.
Physical play by Raekwon Battle there to get that rebound.
Into Osabor down to the right block. Facing up here against Thomas. Now puts it on the floor, backing in. Throws into the middle of the lane. Fuller makes the catch, leans in. No. Bannon had the defense. And Montana has the rebound.
Fuller's got to finish that. He's going to be a key thing here late as...
Ooh. Fuller went down. Moody off a screen, drains the 3. Moody stuck his hips out into the legs of Fuller. That's why he went down. Fuller saying, hey, I got blood. I got hit in the face on that screen. And then Moody hit the 3. The officials calling time. The reason Fuller has the cut is because he got elbowed, he's saying, by Moody. It did look like Moody cut back. Take a look at it. Yeah, it was hard to see. But they're going to take a look at this, I believe. They're at least talking about it. And I think we're due. Yeah, we are due for immediate timeout. So they're going to signal for that momentarily. The officials talking about it, and then they're going to signal it. Hang on. They haven't signaled for it yet. And they're going to go ahead go for the review.
The replay will happen here. The thing that I thought got missed on that is I thought it was a foul. It should have been an offensive foul. That cost the Bobcats the 3, unless, of course, they go back to review this and the Bobcats get the free throws because of the foul. The angle we saw, it was tough to see that, though.
We'll take a break. 10:43 to go in the ball game. Montana State leading 45-43 over Montana. We're sitting in the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Montana parents know parenting isn't easy. ParentingMontana.org provides you with a way to build the skills your child needs to be successful. ParentingMontana.org, tools for your child's success. 10:43 to go in the ball game. Montana State 45, Montana 43. We're sitting in the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. We just had a review, Brian.
Yeah, nothing on the review. So they just said basketball movement, basketball play. The fact that Fuller got hit was just incidental contact. It'll be Montana State ball at point of stoppage, which will be right in front of us.
Bobcats with the ball, and they will inbound in their own offensive zone on the left sideline. Sam Lecolot will have the honors. Bobcats have been a little choppy here over the last few minutes. See if they can get things going coming out of this timeout. That was really a perfectly timed review after Moody hit a big 3 to cut this game back to 2. Cats still in front. Battle. Oh, he just got smoked. Moody and Battle just collided knees. Moody was coming off the screen, too hot, too hard. Oh, that one hurt. Moody's got a dent on his right knee, and Raekwon Battle is laying on his back with his hands over his head. That stung. If you've ever played basketball, you know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah, that is uncomfortable.
Ouch.
It will be a non-shooting foul because that is the 16th foul on Montana. So as long as Raekwon can walk this off, it should be good to go.
Yeah, he just gave the thumbs up. But every hooper knows exactly what that feeling feels like.
Yeah, totally incidental contact. Both guys took the punishment, but Montana State will retain possession.
Moody had like a dent near his kneecap after that. Oh, that one hurts. All right, Montana State with a basketball. Brown to the left wing, works his way down inside, draws a double, has the bounce still, kind of posting up here. Pump fake, gives it to Osabor. Down to the left block, gets underneath, puts up the reverse layup. No, but draws the foul from behind. Josh Bannon was there. Let's double check. That was Bannon. No, instead it was Mac Anderson or Thomas?
Thomas picks up his 4th, I think.
Because Anderson has 4, yeah. Anderson's coming in.
So Thomas, Anderson, both with 4.
Correct.
Bannon with 3?
2. I got 2. No, it is 3. You're right.
Yeah, Bannon got one early second half.
Yep, that's what it is. Hang on, now Sprinkle's asking about it. Yeah, they're saying 24. They're saying Deshaun Thomas.
I mean, either way, you're talking about a starting big for Montana. And again, this is a team that's not deep. So if Anderson Thomas foul out of this game, the options are limited.
First free throw is good for Osibor. Bobcat basketball is brought to you in part by Kendall Ford Lincoln of Bozeman, a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Let's start something great. Osibor misses the second free throw. Bobcats are 8 of 9 from the stripe tonight. Jabril Bello getting ready to check back in. 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Montana State leading at 46-43. Grizzlies have the ball to our right. Handoff over on the right wing. Thrown back into Vasquez over on the right side. Into Bannon. Kick back out to Moody. He tries a two off a screen and splashes it in. Anon Moody heating up in the second half. He's got a dozen. Make it 14 now. Montana State with the ball, leading by 1. They've been in front throughout the second half, but Montana putting some scoreboard pressure on. Brown, top side 3. Drills it from the top of the key. Darius Brown, 2 for 2 from downtown. He's 6 of 6 from the field. He delivers exactly what the Bobcats need. His first bucket in the second half. Moody on the drive, gets in deep, kicks into the right corner. Vasquez trying to set it up. Moving to his left. Vasquez with a calm dribble out beyond the right wing. Moving to his left again to the free throw line. Gets into the lane, stops, fall away jumper, rimming, no. Rebound, the Bobcats have it. And a 49-45 lead over the Grizzlies. 9 minutes to go in the ball game.
I can't get over that last shot by Brown. That was just, Coach, I got this. Don't call play. I'm just going to bury this 3.
Unbelievable. Such an impressive young man. Brown into the lane, going to the rack, lefty layup, no. And Montana has the rebound. First missed shot of the day.
And that was a great play by Brown as he saw he had Bannon and a chance to draw his 4th.
Here's Moody, gets behind a screen, tries a 3, rattles it in. Anon Moody, red hot. He's got 17. That makes it a 1-point game. Bobcats 49, Grizzlies 48, 8:30 to go. Osibor out of the right wing. Hands off for Raekwon Battle, coming off a screen, pulls up at the free throw line. That jumper is no good. And Montana has the rebound, left it a bit short.
Right now, Montana leads a rebounding battle 26-14, dominating the much bigger Bobcats on the glass.
Big difference are the threes. Montana has 5, Bobcats have 2. Montana with the ball. Whitney working on Brown. Gets down to the right block. Down to the baseline, has to back it out with 9 to shoot. Whitney against Osibor here, mismatch. 7. Whitney into the lane, stops, has to get rid of it. 3, and a 3-second lane violation. Great Osibor. One-on-one defense against the guard. Brandon Whitney, he forces the lane violation. That is incredible defense by Osibor against one of the hottest hands in the lineup for the Grizzlies. Let's take a timeout for the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. Here's the situation. 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go in Missoula. It's the Bobcats 49, Grizzlies 48. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. The Bobcat Club needs your support to go for the win. Donate to the Bobcat Club's 3 to Win campaign to help us reach our $3 million goal supporting student athletes. We're sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go in the ballgame. Bobcats leading by 1, up 49-48 over the Grizzlies. Brian, this one has been entertaining tonight.
Yeah, fantastic ball game, and really anybody's game. It's who's going to step up and make plays down the stretch. Darius Brown, Moody for Montana have made some big-time plays here. I think Montana State has really got to clean up the glass. Being minus 12 is not something I would have expected, giving up 8 offensive rebounds to Montana. They've gotten 40% of their misses back. That's just not a recipe to win on a road. Got to clean that up here in these last 8 minutes.
Manan Moody has scored 15 of the Grizzlies' 19 points in the second half, and Montana State right now still 2 of 8 from downtown. All 3-point field goals sponsored by Wendy's. Also, Montana State only 4 assists on 20 field goals. All assists presented by Aware Mental Health Services. That 4 on 20 is not the ratio we expect for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's really low for them. Some of that, though, is that those post feeds have led to dribble before a move, and the Bobcats have still converted pretty well.
28 points in the paints for the Bobcats. Osabor has the ball down to the right baseline. Bobcats with a 1-point lead in the ball. Osabor, jump pass, tipped. It is saved over the shoulder by Patterson, but to the Grizzlies, here comes Moody, possibly with numbers. Moody out on the right wing, tries the 3, no. Bannon, put back, no, but a foul. Osabor got him while he was in the air. 4th foul on Great, and Bannon going to the line.
Yeah, and rebounding again, offensive rebounding. That's a 9th offensive board for Montana in this ball game, and that's going to get them an opportunity to take the lead.
Josh Bannon really has been held in check, just 4 points tonight. Scores 16 a game, a little more than that in Big Sky play.
Yeah, he's been averaging almost 17.5, 18 points in Big Sky play, but he's got a tough matchup with the size and strength of the Montana State front line.
First of the 2 free throws is good. Josh Bannon from Australia, crossed over 1,000 career points earlier this year. A true 3-year junior playing in his 80th game. 75th start. Now Bannon and Whitney are the guys who are the 3-year juniors who have been here since their freshman year. Bannon lining it up again. Free throw is no good. Montana State has the rebound. That could have given Montana the lead. Instead, it's now 49 all, 7:20 to go in the ballgame. Bobcats have been sputtering offensively in the second half. Fuller skips into the left corner for Ford. Puts it on the floor, out to Brown on the left wing, looking for Bello. Instead, uses the screen going right. Brown pulls up the free throw line. The jumper is short. The Bobcats come up empty offensively again, and the Grizzlies have a chance to take the lead. Bannon crossing over, gets to the lane, whistle, charge! Fuller went down. Bannon picks up the foul, his 4th.
And right away, you know that the Bobcats are going to call a play to go right at Bannon. Fouling him out of the game would absolutely change that game. But Travis secure counters by taking him out. And really, Montana now is going to play 4 guards with Mac Anderson guarding Jabril Bello.
Anderson's playing with 4 fouls right now as well. 6:55 to go in the game. Tie contest, 49 all from Dahlberg Arena in the 304th episode of the Brawl of the Wild between these 2 teams. Bounce into the post. Bello back to the basket, draws a double, kicks it out for Fuller. Looking for the post again. Uses the bounce pass, got tipped and kicked. It'll stay with Montana State, resetting the shot clock from 11 to 20.
Yeah, and the Bobcats here are having a hard time getting in the post because Montana has said, hey, you're 2 for 8 from 3. You've got guys that haven't proven they can make it. So they're just packing the paint, trying to take away those post feeds.
Brown into Bello, down to the right block, working against Anderson, doubled, still holding. And had it tipped out of bounds, staying here with Montana State. Anderson got a piece of it. Montana State will reset again. Cats are just 4 of 14 from the field in the second half, 29%. Here comes the inbounds pass from Brown. Still looking, gives it to Fuller, whistle, foul, underneath. Charged on Montana. I think that's on Knapp. Yeah, first on Jackson Knapp, the freshman coming off the bench.
Yeah, Knapp's a guy who's been getting 4 or 5 minutes a game, and he's forced into yeoman's duty. He puts Fuller at the line now as the Bobcats will shoot 1-on-1. and now they'll be in the double bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge foul to put the Bobcats on the line, considering they have not scored in over 3 minutes. Fuller to the stripe. And the front end is good. Oh, man. The 88% free throw shooter hit that rim twice, ricocheted off the glass, and got every bit of that shooter's roll. They'll line it up again. That puts the Bobcats in front. Next shot is up from the lefty, and that one clean and pure. 2 points for Caleb Fuller today. Montana State back in front, 51-49, breaking the 3-minute scoring drought. 6:30 to go in the ball game. Grizzlies down 2 of the ball. Vasquez out on the left wing. He's been quiet from downtown, the sharpshooter. Hands off to Whitney, moving right up to the top of the key. Throws around to the right wing for Martin. Martin, hands off for Whitney, 10 to shoot. Whitney with a bounce against Fuller, 9. Out to Martin, 8. Martin spin move, goes to the rack. Blocked by Jabril Bello, out of bounds. Jabril Bello, another block, his second, approaching the all-time career mark. And there are 3 seconds on the shot clock as Montana prepares to inbound. Montana inbounding from the baseline with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Give to Moody, forces it up. That's no good. Bello has the rebound. Bobcats get a huge stop with a 2-point lead. What a ball game tonight. Neither team has hit a field goal in the last 3 minutes or so. Brown over on the right wing. Give it to Fuller at the top. Into the left corner Ford, looking for Bello, posting up against Anderson. Out to Fuller, down to Bello against Anderson. Spins to his left shoulder, down to the right block. 3 to shoot, Bello into the lane, spins, hooks, off the glass, no! Whistle, what do we got?
Foul's on Ford going the other way.
Robert Ford picking up the foul, his first, and that'll walk it all the way down, and the Grizzlies will go to the line.
And I think it'll put Moody at the line, and right now the last guy you want to see shooting is Moody.
Moody 83% from the stripe this year, an outstanding shooter who scored 15 of his 17 points in the second half, and he goes to the line with a chance to tie this game if he hits them both. 5:33 left. The front end is good for Nan Moody. At his third school, played 3 years at North Dakota, 2 years at Southern Utah, first year at Montana, the 6th-year senior, knocks it down. 19 points for Nan Moody playing in his first brawl of the Wild. 5:30 remaining. Tie game, 51 points apiece. Bobcat basketball. Brown to his right around a Bello screen. Pulls up the elbow, the jumper, rimming. No! Off the front iron. And Montana State has not hit a field goal in over 4 minutes.
Yeah, the Bobcats offense is really letting them down. Now their defense has got to be the thing that gets them back in.
Moody drives, kicks, Brown tips that pass and takes it away. Darius Brown in transition, 2-on-1, fakes the handoff, goes to the cup, finger rolls it in. The defense breaks the scoring drought. Darius Brown, who has the most steals per game in Big Sky play, turns one theft into 2 points. Montana State back in front, 53-51, 4:48 to go in the game, and we've got a foul away from the ball, charged to Robert Ford, his second, and that puts Montana back to the line.
Yeah, how about Darius Brown, though? Another clutch play, his second steal of the night, which is his per-game average in Big Sky play. Big-time play, big-time finish on the other end.
Brown leading the way with 16 points. Battle just checked back in. He's second on the squad with 13. The free throw is good. Now Moody's got 20. His 4th 20-point game of the year. North Dakota native. Knocks them both down. 21 for Anon Moody. 19 of those in the second half. He's tied the game at the free throw line. 53 points each. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the ball game. Bobcat basketball trying to break the ice on the offensive end. Brown at the top, moves right around the screen, gets to the elbow, stops, picks up the bounce, bounces into Bello, and he draws the foul. I think that's on Anderson. It is. Mac Anderson is done. The Bozeman native has fouled out. And that'll put Jabril Bello at the line. Looking to get into double figures. He's got 9 points. He's been shooting 81% from the stripe the last 3 games. And he gets to head to the line now.
And again, it's just a great play by Darius Brown. He comes off that ball screen. He could shoot that 15-footer, but he knows, hey, I got the Big Sky Player of the Year right here. I'm going to give him a touch. Gets it inside. Not only does Jabril draw the foul, but you get Anderson out, and now Thomas and Bannon are sitting out there with 4 fouls each. Puts Montana with no depth. It takes away any depth.
4:33 remaining in the game. Bello trying to break the tie at the free throw line. The first is good. Cool is the other side of the pillow, Jabril Bello. Man, he has continued to elevate his game year after year. A young man who has clearly played at his best form, and he's been getting better and better even this season. This next free throw is through. Jabril Bello has given the Bobcats the lead, knocking down 2 clutch free throws. Cats up 55-53 over the Grizzlies, 4.5 to play. Bandit bounces it to Deshaun Thomas at the free throw line. Hands off, that pass tipped by Raekwon Battle into the backcourt, recovered by Montana. Great active hands by Battle. Up at the top, Martin trying to break it down, gives to Thomas. He's on the drive against Bello, crosses over, falls away with a jumper, got it. Man, that is great defense, and Deshaun Thomas, 6'9", showing some handles, ties the game with a fadeaway J.
That's a big-time play by Thomas right there against a guy who leads the league in blocks.
And Bello was right with him. Fuller into the right corner for Raekwon Battle. And it's stripped out of bounds. And it's staying here with Montana State. And we got a timeout. Don't go anywhere. We got a tie game. It's Cat Grizz 55 all with 3:50 to go in the ball game. We're sitting at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Back at the First Interstate Bank broadcast position, Montana State and Montana, 55 points apiece, 3:50 to go in the ball game. It'll be Bobcat basketball, and Brian Cats are just trying to grind through a scoring drought down the stretch here.
Yeah, a game that in the first half felt like a track meet has just grinded in the second half, especially for the Bobcat offense, shooting 29%, 33 from the 3. The free throw line has saved Montana State thus far, 9 of 10. 9 of their second half 20 points have come at the charity stripe.
Bobcat 5 are Brown, Ford, Battle, Fuller, and Bello. Mac Anderson, who started this ball game, his 3rd start of the year for the Grizzlies, has fouled out, and they've got 2 other forwards, Bannon and Thomas, with 4 fouls apiece. Montana State inbounds from their baseline. Brown takes a handoff from Bello and gets the play call in with 10 seconds to shoot. Brown with the bounce at the top. Moves to his right. Gets to the elbow, weaves into the lane, going to the rack righty. Layup able to finish. Darius Brown, 18 points in his first brawl of the Wild, is 8 of 11 from the field, and he's put the Cats back up by 2.
Big time play by Brown, and almost had a chance to draw the 5th foul on Bannon.
Ooh, and they just called a foul on Jabril Bello as he was fighting with Deshaun Thomas. 4th on Bello, and it's putting Thomas at the line for a 1-and-1.
1-and-1 is fortunate for the Bobcats here, especially if Thomas would do him a favor and miss that front end.
Sean Thomas in his first year here in Missoula. He's 6'9", but shoots the heck out of the three-point shot. He's 45% from downtown the last 3 games. Had 19 points against Eastern Washington. He handles that ball like a guard at 6'9", 240. Colorado State transfer, who's from way out east in Durham, North Carolina. Thomas hits the front end. He's in double figures with 10. Makes it a 1-point game, chance to tie it here. 3:24 left. Danny Sprinkle trying to get his first win in Missoula as a coach. Had one as a player. The shot is good. Thomas hits them both. Free throws have been falling late. Tie game again, 57 all. 3:20 to go in the ball game. Got an instant classic brewing at Dahlberg Arena. Brown out of the left wing. Works his way into the lane, kicks to Ford. Thought about a 3, sends it into Osabor. Back out to Ford, then to Brown. Topside 3. No, off the back iron. And Martin fell. They didn't call the travel. And Montana has the basketball. There's Whitney. Ooh, nearly had his pocket picked by Ford. Grizzlies try to take the lead with under 3 minutes to go in a game tied at 57. Whitney to the left elbow, kicks out to Thomas. He's open for 3. No, long rebound. The Bobcats have it. Cats will slow it down. Grizzlies have their season back against the wall with a 3-4 Big Sky record. Bobcats trying to keep pace behind Eastern Washington, sitting at 5-2. And a prime lending timeout by the Bobcats. Prime lending, home loans made simple. 2:40 left in the ball game, tied at 57, and it's Montana State basketball.
Yeah, the Bobcats here taking advantage. This is the reason you save your timeouts. 2:40 to go. Big possession opportunity to take back the lead after getting the stop. And I'll tell you, Raekwon Battle on that missed shot on the other end, he came from at least 30 feet to track down that rebound, which was huge because Montana State has had a little bit of trouble keeping the Grizz off the offensive glass. They've got 10 already, and they're plus 15 on the glass overall.
Simpkins Holland believes in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past for all your building needs. Go to where long-standing traditions have met quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Holland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946. All right, what are the Cats drawing up here offensively, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, the question is who? Probably options right now. Jabril Bello, I did not see if he checked back in, but obviously he'd be number 1. You got Darius Brown's probably number 2. Raekwon Battle is right there. Those 3 guys are the guys you'd expect to get the touch.
Looks like Bello and Osabor are in, is that right?
They are. They're in together. And the other thing you got out here is Tyler Patterson. Because the way that Montana's been defending, he could find himself with a wide open look. He's got to make him pay if he gets it.
Bello and Osabor each playing with 4 fouls right now with 2:40 left in the game, in a game that is tied at 57 points each. This is one of those turning points in the season. This is the type of game that you'll look back at and will help determine how successful this season is. Montana State with the ball coming out of their prime lending timeout. 57 points each. Brown moves to his right, up to the top. Goes to Raekwon Battle, elevates for 3. No, off the inside of the iron, and Montana has the rebound. Bobcats are 2 of 10 from downtown, and the Grizzlies have a chance to take the lead here with 2:20 left. Whitney working his way inside, going to the rack underneath, and draws the foul on Raekwon Battle. Free throws coming. Second foul on Raekwon.
Yeah, Battle ending up on Whitney right there is not the perfect matchup. Brown has done such a good job on him all night, but for whatever reason in transition, Raekwon ends up on him, and Whitney makes him pay.
He kind of slipped, actually. He did beat him off the first step, but a foul kind of occurred as Whitney slipped and then fell into the arms of Battle. So Whitney will line it up for the lead. That's good. Whitney, a 76% free throw shooter. Had 11 points in that first half. That was his 3rd in the second. Chance to make it a 2-point game. That shot is good. He hits them both. Both teams knocking down their clutch free throws today. Grizzlies up 59-57. 2:25 to go in the game. Battle on the right wing. Works left to the free throw line. Elevates, floats, good through contact. Raekwon Battle ties this thing up at 59 each.
Big time play by Raekwon Battle, making up for the last possession. Finds a way to get his team back square.
Under 2 to play. Whitney looking for Moody. Ooh, didn't have him. Then to Bannon. And it nearly stripped by Brown. Bannon recovers. Working on Osabor. Each with 4 fouls. Into the middle of the lane. Bannon kicks it out. Moody met by Battle. Moody try to find space. Throws to Bannon with 7 to shoot. Bannon against Osabor. Kick to the right wing. Thomas for 3. Yes. Oh, that's a big shot. Deshaun Thomas from the right wing. Buries the 3 ball. Montana 62. Bobcats 59. 1:25 to go in the game. Timeout, Montana State. Time lending timeout. Time lending. Home loans made simple. 1:24 to go in the game. Deshaun Thomas, the big 3, making it 62-59 over Montana State.
Yeah, and the penetration right there. Just enough penetration to get Osabor to lean away from Thomas, and Thomas makes the Cats pay. We said it was going to come down to a close game where somebody had to make a play late. Hopefully that was not that play, but big time shot by Thomas.
And for Montana State, I mean, the second half offensively just has not shown a lot of rhythm. Bobcats have not been able to get it down to Bello as much. Bello does not have a field goal in the second half. Everything's been at the stripe for Bello.
Yeah, it has been, and that's part of how they're playing it, and that's what we've been saying for weeks is if you don't make those outside threes, teams don't have to guard Jabril Bello the same way. Early, Montana tried to let him go to work and see if they could handle him one-on-one. Did not work. Bello made him pay all first half, but in the second half they gave up on that, and they're just begging Montana State to shoot jumpers.
All right, here we go. Massive possession. 1:24 to go in the game. Cats with the ball down 3. Brown to his right around the screen. Gets to the elbow. Picks up the dribble. Takes the shot. Knocks it down and 1. Darius Brown draws the foul. He'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play to tie this game up with 77 seconds left.
The foul goes on Whitney. It's only his second. Ooh, my goodness. That is another Brown big-time moment.
20 points for Darius Brown. This free throw for the tie. Lets it fly and knocks it down. Darius Brown, big time. The and 1 ties it up at 62. Darius Brown has 21 of those with 1:12 to go. Grizzlies with the basketball. Whitney up to the top. Accelerates down to the right block. Gets in deep and weaves out and kicks it back beyond the arc. Moody to his left, 1 minute remaining. Moody to his right to the top, working on Fuller, stops, kicks to the left wing. Here's Whitney on the drive, runner is up, rimming, yes! At the end of the shot clock. 64-62 Montana, 50 seconds left, and Brown takes it into the front court, and there's a timeout called by the Bobcats. Big time buckets on both ends, and Montana State needs to find some more offense here.
Yeah, and the Bobcats will put back in now Raekwon Battle, Jabril Bello, 2 guys they had taken out for the defensive possession, so they get their key scorers back out there. And now Danny Sprinkle and staff looking to run something here, get something at the rim, preferably.
That was the last time out for Montana State. Grizzlies still have 2, and the possession arrow favors Montana. Boy, what a ball game.
Yeah, and the other way that Montana State can win this game is getting on that offensive glass, finding a way to steal a possession on the offensive glass or a putback, something to get this thing knotted first and then get a stop.
Both teams trading buckets. Darius Brown's been the brightest star for the Bobcats with 21 points on 9 of 13 shooting. His career high is 26, which came over at Seesaw.
Yeah, it's been just an incredible game for him. He's just played with such composure and just stepped up. He hit both his threes. Were times where Montana had closed the lead. When they go up by 3, he hits an old-fashioned 3-point play. Bobcats now with the inbound in front of us.
49 seconds left. Again, no timeouts left for Montana State. Bobcats will inbound on the left sideline. Battle into Brown. Here we go. Everybody up on their feet out of those maroon seats. Brown crossing over down to the left wing. Still with the bounce. Throws to the top for Raekwon Battle. Pumps the 3, leans in. That shot is short, but he draws the foul, and Raekwon Battle is going the line for 3 free throws. Martin came off the screen and kind of leaned into him. Battle felt the contact, and he was able to get himself to the line. He was definitely behind the line.
Yeah, they're going to check it because they should.
No, he was. I saw it. He's behind the line.
But there's no question he was behind the line.
So it's going to be 3 free throws, and Raekwon Battle's going to have a chance to give the Bobcats the lead.
Yeah, and the way the shot clock works is even if Montana scores, the Bobcats are guaranteed a possession.
With 39 seconds left, the Bobcats just need to get a stop here. They have not been able to get a stop over these last couple of possessions, and they have confirmed the 3 shots.
Yeah, 3 shots here for Raekwon Battle. Yeah, Raekwon, first things first, step up to the free throw line, make all 3 of these, put your team up 1, and then go down and get that stop. I'd expect Montana to probably use a timeout going in transition, so it's one of those things where you'll probably get an opportunity to set your defense.
Montana's had a lot of close games. In 3 of their 4 conference losses, they have been tied or in the lead the final 3 minutes. Tonight's another one of them, and Raekwon Battle is going to the line. He's got 3 free throws. The first is good. Next one ties it with 2 more to go. Montana State began the year with so many struggles at the free throw line. The second is good. This game is tied at 64 points apiece. Battle has 1 more to try to give the Bobcats the lead with 39 seconds left.
Yeah, it looks like Travis DeCure is going to call a play, and he is going to go straight into that action. They're not going to use a timeout, so they're going to have to play defense.
Battle at the line for the lead. The shot is good. Raekwon Battle hits all 3, and he's given the Bobcats a 65-64 lead with 39 seconds to go. Battle to the bench, Ford on the floor with Brown, Bello, Patterson, Fuller. Here comes Montana with about an 8-second differential between the shot and game clocks. Whitney with the dribble out of the right wing, crosses over into the lane, working on Fuller, reverses, pumps, nowhere to go, and kicks it out to Moody. Moody has the ball, working against Ford. Moody to his left, picked up by Brown, tipped it, and recovers the free throw line at a timeout called by Montana. Good start to the defensive set, 12 seconds to shoot. And Montana will draw up a play here with 21 seconds left. The Bobcats have been led by their defense all year, and they've never needed it more than they do right now.
Yeah, 21 seconds on the game clock, 12 on the shot clock. It'll be a sideline, out-of-bounds entry. So the Bobcats can do anything here. They can jump zone. They can stay in their man. I kind of like jumping zone in a situation like this. You haven't shown it all game, and it puts you in a position where Montana's focused on how are we going to get to the rim, how are we going to attack. You just screw up kind of their rhythm and give yourself an opportunity to make them force a shot. Problem with zone can be rebounding, but the way rebounding's gone tonight, I'm not even sure I'd be worried about it.
Montana State is trying to win in Missoula for just the 4th time this century, since 2000. And they need a stop to do it.
Yeah, and this is what you want it to come down to, right? Our strength is our defense. Give us the opportunity to win it on that end. They've got that opportunity coming right now. I gotta believe it's either Moody or Whitney putting their head down trying to get to the rim if they see man-to-man defense.
Huge free throws down the stretch. Bobcats 13 of 14 from the stripe in the second half. Bello is 5 for 5, and Raekwon Battle has just hit 3 to give the Bobcats the lead. We had talked about it earlier this year. That had been an Achilles heel in the non-conference, and Montana State has put the work in, and it has showed up today. All right, 12 seconds on the shot clock, 21 seconds on the game clock. Bobcats up 1. Grizzlies with the ball. Martin will inbound. He gives it to Whitney, who's been a star tonight. 10 seconds to shoot. Whitney picked up by Brown on the left wing. Whitney with a bounce, looking for the post. Nowhere to go, gives to Moody off a screen 5. Moody into the lane, puts up a contested runner, short. Fight for the rebound, out of bounds. I think it should be a shot clock violation. They're calling that. They're saying, I couldn't see it.
They're doing a replay review on the possession. Call on the floor is Montana ball.
Okay.
But I think they're going to reverse that when they see the film because I'm pretty sure it went off Bannon.
Okay, and then did it hit the rim because there's 1 second on the shot clock? I don't know that it did. It came up short on that floater.
No, it did not hit the rim. So the shot clock will remain as is unless on video review they see that. But I'm pretty sure that ball went off Bannon.
Did the Bobcats just get the stop they needed? Boy, that was tough. They really held Whitney in check. Robert Ford has been an absolute stalwart on the defensive end. And for all the accolades we've given Brown on the offensive end, it's his defense that has shown brightest at the end of this game. The officials, I think, have made their decision. They are discussing it, all three of them, at the top of the Grizzlies' head. And it's Bobcat basketball with 9.7 seconds left and a 1-point lead. And the Grizzlies, who have had close games break their hearts all year, find themselves in a very familiar, distasteful place.
Yeah, so the Bobcats are going to have to inbound against full court pressure. Montana will probably do a quick double team to see if they can force a quick turnover. If they can't, then it's foul, and Bobcats got to make both. But no matter how that plays out, you still got to get another stop because Montana, at most, is going to be down 3 even after the free throws.
Montana State snapped a 6-game losing streak against the Grizzlies last year. They're going to inbound. They have to go to length of the floor, facing the full court press. Tyler Patterson with the honors, guarded by Moody. He's looking to get it in, finds Brown deep in the backcourt with 8 seconds left in the game. Brown draws the foul, driving along the left sideline. And how poetic to send the young man Darius Brown out of Pasadena, California, going to the line. He has been the unsung star early and has taken over this team. We did not know what the point guard play would be this year. We knew the Bobcats would have great presence in the front court, but you can't do anything deep in March without terrific guard play, and the Bobcats have found that in Darius Brown, the transfer from Cal State Northridge. Now he's at the line, and the first of 2 is good. Cats up 2. One more, and at least the worst you can do would be going to overtime unless you fouled on a 3. 7 seconds left.
Right, and then you get into the age-old, do you foul in transition to prevent the big 3?
Next free throw is through. We got a 3-point ball game. Bobcats have hit all the clutch free throws down the stretch. Vasquez coming in, a sharp-shooting 3-point shooter who has not scored today. 67-64. Cats up 3, 7 seconds left. Montana has to go the length of the floor. The Grizzlies have had their heart broken in close games all year long. They're game under 500. They say that they're better than their record, but it has not been borne out. The Bobcats try to keep them down to the bottom half of the league. Bannon gives it to Moody with a head of steam. 5 seconds across the half-court line. 4 takes a deep NBA 3. Short, no good. Fuller fights for the rebound, and the Bobcats have won it. Danny Sprinkle punches through the air, gets his first win in Missoula as a head coach, and the Bobcats win it. They take down the Grizzlies 67-64 with 2 clutch defensive stops. Raekwon Battle and Darius Brown bury the late clutch free throws, and the Bobcats take the Brawl of the Wild in Missoula, just their 4th win here this millennium.
Yeah, it's fantastic to break that streak, and for Montana State, this game has a lot of meaning for it, for Danny Sprinkle to win here, like you said, but then to get to now 6-2 in league, push Montana to 3-5. Everything about this just feels very wonderful.
For the first time in 9 years with Travis DeCure as the head coach of Montana, he has lost to the Bobcats in Missoula, and Montana State has ended an 11-game losing streak in Dahlberg Arena, and the Bobcats used their defense to seal this thing at the end. Darius Brown is the star among stars with 23 points today. I mean, what an incredible performance by this young man, Darius Brown. He describes himself as a pass-first point guard, but boy, can he shoot.
Yeah, he showed it today. And again, it's his overall feel for the game that's just phenomenal. His ability to go ahead and take this team and say, you know what, they got momentum, we're in their place, I'm going to make a play, I'm going to make a shot. Big threes, 3-point plays, free throws, you name it, Darius Brown ringing it in.
Montana State has won 2 of the last 3 in the Brawl of the Wild against the Grizzlies, and Montana breaks their heart again in another close loss. In 4 of their 5 Big Sky losses, they have either been tied or in the lead at the end of the ball game, and they found another way to lose. And today it was the Bobcat defense and clutch free throws from Darius Brown and Raekwon Battle. We will step aside. The Ribbon Chop House postgame show coming up. Bobcats have won it in Missoula. They win it 67-64 over the Grizzlies. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. 304th Brawl of the Wild between the men's basketball teams of Montana and Montana State goes to the Bobcats with a 67-64 win. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside Brian Preby, and this is the post-game show brought to you by the Ribbon Chop House, home of premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs, all served in a casual atmosphere. Well, during the 2022-2023 academic season, the Bobcat football team clinched a Big Sky championship with a blowout win at home against Montana. Earlier this afternoon, Tricia Binford and her crew took down Montana 72-63 in what was really a very comfortable win, particularly in the second half. And today, with the nightcap, the men deliver Danny Sprinkle's first win in Missoula as a head coach. He did have one as a player. And Montana State, who has been carried by their defense throughout the year, got a couple of massive stops at the end of this game, and they have won it today to go to 13-8 overall. They are 6-2 in Big Sky play, still sitting 2 games back of first place with Eastern Washington currently undefeated. And Montana is 9-11. They are 3-5 in Big Sky play as we approach the midway point of the conference season. Brian, that was such an incredible game. Regardless of if the Bobcats had won or not, that was a high-level ball game, but it makes it truly sweet to see the Bobcats win twice at Dahlberg Arena in one day.
It sure does. And for Montana State, this is a bit of a statement win. I mean, you had a little bit of a stub your toe game on Monday. You bounce back. You beat your rival on the road. If they can go down to Portland State on Thursday, Sacramento on Saturday, sweep next weekend, boy, things start to open up. I mean, the rest of the season, you see nothing but the inside of Brick Breeden hardly the rest of the way.
Right, January was the toughest month for the Bobcats, and they've lost twice. They lost one at home to Eastern Washington in a tight game. Could have gone either way. Seal Ventures hit a big 3. You lose at Idaho with a tough travel day. You see the legs weren't there for the Bobcats. You get this whole week off, and you know this was going to be a tough game. Montana has played close games all year. They're 3-5 in the Big Sky, and they still, even with this game, have a plus in the scoring margin. So that gives you an idea of how close these games have been for the Grizzlies. And boy, they have just not been able to find a way to win some of these games. Deshaun Thomas had what looked like could have been one of the big threes, but in the end, the Grizzlies did not get a clean shot off in those final 60 seconds.
Yeah, and what you saw is Deshaun Thomas puts him up with 1:20 to play, and from then on, it's all Bobcats. The Bobcats found a way to get themselves to the free throw line. They made 7 of 7 free throws in the last minute. They made their last 11 free throws. They did the things that championship-level teams do. They won a close game because of their depth and because of their ability to make plays late.
And make free throws. That was such an issue for Montana State at the beginning of the season. They lost non-conference games because they could not shoot at the free throw line. They put the work in. They tonight shot 90% from the line, 17 of 19, and they basically needed every one of them because if they don't have the three-point lead at the end, well, Montana's driving to the rim, and that's a whole different can of worms.
Yeah, not only that, but Montana doesn't just have to foul and force the Bobcats to win it at the line. So tremendous plays, so many plays you can point to as you would expect in a game like this, but the Bobcats made more of the key plays, especially in the last 2 minutes, than the Grizz.
In 304 meetings, Montana State has won 150, and the Grizzlies have won 154 as the Bobcats win it today, 67-64. All right, we are ready to be joined by head coach Danny Sprinkle after the victory today at Dahlberg Arena as the Bobcats again win it 67-64. All right, Coach, your first win in this arena as a coach, had one as a player. Looks like you're quite drenched after being in the locker room.
Yeah, I'll take this every game.
How sweet does this one feel?
It's awesome, man. Go Cats. Bobcat Nation, I know you guys were cheering us on. There was some here. I know everybody's watching, and I know you're damn proud of this group. It was I'm glad the way it ended. I'm glad they took the lead because it showed championship DNA. It's not easy. When they take the lead and this 7,000 people are going crazy, it showed what we're made of. And we had guys just make big-time plays. Every time they did, we responded. And, that's what it takes to win here.
Let's talk Raekwon Battle's big plays.
Ooh.
So
yeah,
draws,
they hit a 3, I think.
Draws the 3 free throws on the foul by Martin. And then he also hits that tough floater in the lane after he'd gotten called for a foul on the other end.
He was huge. And he's just – he has a flair for the dramatic. Sometimes it's almost like the easy ones. It's like it's too easy for him. But when it's go time, I want the ball in his hands, and he's proved it, and he proved it again tonight. And not just him, like Darius was huge. Darius was tremendous. I thought all game. His ball screen offense in the first half really dictated that first half and got us a lead. And free throws. We've been really shooting the ball well from the free throw line, which if you don't do that, you're not going to win. On the road.
Yeah, especially games like this one. You made your last 11 free throws. Darius, too, it's not even just his offensive end. Felt like his defensive end.
He had a huge steal.
Huge steal. And then he just locked down Whitney in the second half, who had gotten some things going in the first frame.
Yeah, those guards got challenged at halftime, I'll tell you that. I wasn't happy about that, but they responded.
Yeah, and talk about the last two defensive stops. You finally get the lead after Raekwon makes the free throws, but now you got to get 2 stops to get out of here.
Well, it was. And, when I called the timeout, I don't know if I called it or they called it, 49 seconds, I said, hey, we got to go 2 for 1. We got to go 2 for 1. That's how we're going to win the game. We're going to score. I didn't know we were going to get 3 foul shots, but we got it. And but the guys executed like that. That was the play. And we got those, and then we got a stop, and then we got another bucket. And then we finished it with another big rebound.
Coach, congrats on the win. Heck of a victory. You can enjoy it tonight. Enjoy it on that bus ride back.
Appreciate it. Love you, Bobcat Nation. Go Cats.
All right. Head coach Danny Sprinkles. The Bobcats win it today 67-64 to defeat the Grizzlies. Still with a home game up in this Brawl the Wild series this season. We will take a break. More of the Ribbon Chop House postgame show coming up. Cats win it 67-64 over the Grizzlies. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Back on the Ribbon Chop House postgame show, Montana State defeats the Grizzlies 67-64. They take it on the road in Missoula, both men and women winning today. Of course, football won earlier this year as well. So, nice night to be a Bobcat, and you can see it. Danny Sprinkle is walking on air after that win. All right, let's get to our first Security Bank highlights of the ball game, and we will hear those highlights right now. Those are your First Security Bank highlights of the ballgame. Darius Brown finished with 23. Raekwon Battle finished with 18. 3 of his 4 free throws came at the end of the game to help clinch this thing. Jabril Bello had 11, and Montana State has won it 67-64 over Montana. We'll take another break from the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. More to come. Cats defeat the Grizzlies again 67-64. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield. Back of the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. Keaton Glogly alongside Brian Prebies. The Bobcats win it today 67-64 over the Grizzlies. Montana State improves to 13-8. They are 6-2 in Big Sky play. Montana falls to 9-11, 3-5 in conference action. So the Cat State 2 games back of the first place Eastern Washington Eagles. At Montana's Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. Bobcats snap an 11-game losing streak in this building at Dahlberg Arena. And, Brian, they really didn't even play their best basketball in that second half.
No, they really didn't. I mean, in fact, offensively in the second half, they kind of stunk the place up outside of making free throws. And they had 3 and 1s, which is pretty amazing to do that. And that kind of maybe offsets the fact that they only hit 1 3 in each half of basketball, but they found a way. And you just, you know, when you think about it, coming in here as a Bobcat team, winning in Dahlberg and doing it with kind of a B-, in terms of offensive effort, at least in the second half. The defense was probably an A the whole way through, but that's just something that's really tough to do. And really just says a lot about the character and caliber of this ball club.
Yeah, I think that's something really important to hit on, the character and the caliber of this team. I mean, they have taken their lumps. That non-conference schedule was really, really hard, and they have had everything thrown at them, and they've already won a Big Sky championship. Some of these guys have. The new guys have come in and meshed beautifully, and this team has continued to just take step after step, and there's still room to grow. That three-point shooting is going to get better at some point, and they're still missing open looks. Those are going to fall at some point, but they're finding ways to win it without it, and, that's what championship teams do.
Yeah, and they're going to play 7 of their first 10 league games on the road. So, everything about it says they should be in a tough place, but they've managed to just gut it out. And if they can go on the road next week and sweep, they're going to find themselves in a really good position to make a run.
Montana State going to Portland State and Sac State coming up this week. And, when you look at what this means overall for the program, I mean, it takes a long time to turn the leaf over with the way the Grizzlies have dominated things over the years. And we slowly see that thing kind of flipping over. This doesn't totally flip everything around. Montana State has always struggled to win here, especially over the last couple of years. But you got to get that first one out of the way. Danny Sprinkle has his first win as a head coach at Dahlberg Arena. You got to get that one done. Football has started to win in that battle. Now, Montana State had won the Big Sky Championship last year. They're in the hunt again this year, decidedly so, way more than Montana is at this point. And so, again, you're seeing things flip, and this is just kind of another step in that long climb up.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny because when they started the Brawl a while thing, which was probably 7 to 8, 9 years ago, the first 2, the Grizz won decisively. But they haven't won one since, and that tells you that momentum has really shifted. And it's not just football, basketball. It's throughout the athletic department.
So it's a big-time win, and, you got to give some credit as well to the athletic department, to Leon Costello, the hire of Danny Sprinkle. He'd never been a head coach before, a long-time assistant. It's hard to get those head coaching jobs, even when it's your alma mater. It is hard. It is so competitive. And he made the right hire. Obviously made the right hire, and wins are starting to come, and no matter what happens as the future continues to go on, Danny Sprinkle has left this place better than he found it.
Yeah, it's been a great run, and there's a lot of games left to be played and a chance to go for back-to-back titles.
Bottom line, Bobcats have won it 67-64 over the Grizzlies. We'll take a break. More to come on the Ribbon Chop House postgame show after this timeout. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield. Back of the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. Montana State winning it today 67-64 over Montana. The Cats have won 2 of the last 3 in this series with the men, and the Bobcats winning in Dahlberg Arena for the first time under head coach Danny Sprinkle, and the first time against ninth-year head coach Travis DeCure of Montana. He's obviously been a great coach. He was 12-2 against Montana State in his career here. He's now 12-3, and boy, you can just you can see it in the players' reactions, both after the win and even now as players are still kind of coming out. I mean, you can just see how much this matters. And right now, Bozeman has the best basketball team in the Treasure State.
Yeah, and they need to relish that. It's been a minute. Even though these all-time series is basically even, Montana State
separated by 4 games.
Yeah, Montana State dominated it for decades and decades, but the Grizz have had their way over the last probably 20 years or at least 15 years, and that's allowed the Grizz to kind of even that thing up and even take a couple spot lead, but it seems like that tide's turned back toward the blue and gold.
Yes, it has. All right, well, let's get to our delivery of the game today, presented by your locally owned and operated McDonald's of Montana. Brian, a couple of options here, but what do you want to go with for the delivery of the game today?
You know, I'm going to cheat here, and I'm going to give the Bobcat defense the delivery of the game. They
like
delivered this win with 2 unbelievable stops down the stretch, and really just an overall fantastic game throughout. So the Bobcat defense collectively gets her done.
Best part about this Bobcat team right now is the defense, and like you said, the Cats were able to lean on that at the end of the ballgame to secure the victory. So Montana State wins it today. Happy bus ride home to Bozeman through the middle of the night. Montana's Rib and Chop House has been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon. We'll take one more break. When we get back, we will have our final stretch as the Bobcats win it today, 67-64 over Montana. You're listening to Bobcat Basketball, presented by Learfield.
And kudos to the
All right, back one final time with the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. A victorious post-game show today as the Bobcats have defeated the Grizzlies 67-64. A dogfight, classic ball game, the 150th win for Montana State in this Brawl of the Wild rivalry series. All right, let's take a look at the Bobcats' next game, which is coming up on Thursday, presented by Vance Thompson Vision, the official LASIK and cataract surgeon of the Montana State Bobcats. It has been a grueling January. 2 home games in conference play in January. You'll have plenty at home in February. It all evens out. You play an even amount, but it's tough in January. So you got one more stretch into the Deep West. Thursday night against Portland State, 8 p.m., and then Saturday, also 8 p.m. Mountain Time at Sac State. So 2 late games for Montana State. Portland State right now 3-4, 9-11 overall. Sac State has been having a nice year, but they are now 4-3. They are 11-9. They've got one of the better point guards in the league, but you know, this is at least a little bit of an easier flight, slightly easier travel than some of these other ones, but it's always tough to win on the road in the Big Sky, and 2 big games coming up this weekend.
Without question, huge games, and the thing that these two have in common is the 2 Cracker Box gyms in the Big Sky. So you go into those places and 100 people feels like 1,000. Both teams have kind of got different roads to basically be 500. Portland State started slow and has played better of late. The Hornets started fast and have struggled recently. So Bobcats get Portland State first, need to find a way to get that first one and then obviously get the second one as well.
So Eastern is still 8-0. They've got a 2-game lead over Montana State, sitting at 6-2, and then Weber State is 5-2, and everybody else has 3 or more losses, while Montana has fallen to 3-5. They're just a nose ahead of Northern Colorado and Idaho now. So that's where things stand as we approach the midway point. The midway point of the season, the conference season, is after this Portland State game. So we are right there, and after you get through this weekend, you will have seen everybody in the Big Sky. All right, that will wrap up the Ribbon Chop House post-game show. Brian, any other final thoughts on a victory in the Cat Grizz rivalry tonight?
Nothing better than winning in Missoula, and it's been far too long.
All right, well, the Crown currently sitting on the east side of the Continental Divide in Bozeman, with Bobcats again winning 67-64. These two teams will meet again in Bozeman, so should be a lot of fun. All right, for my broadcast partner Brian Preby and our producer Jesse Ropolato, this is Keaton Gillogly saying so long from Dahlberg Arena, where the Bobcats have won for just the 4th time since 2000. Final score for a final time today: Montana State wins it 67-64 over Montana. You've been listening to Bobcat Basketball presented by Learfield.